Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
There's always just that active when like defenders, I think, it's like.
Are we live? Of course we're live. Above my head, you can see it's Crystal Palace against Manchester City. Now, Manchester City, you know, they're the big bad bullies in the Premier League historically since Pep Guardiola's been there. That being said, this season or what we've seen so far has been a mixed bag. Dare I say it's been disappointing for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Crystal Palace are fighting relegation. Now, I actually think this is going to be a decent game. I'm going to say my prediction off the bat, people. I'm going to go 2-0 Manchester City. But of course, I hope Crystal Palace win. We are 2 minutes away from kickoff, people. I'd say 2. I'm lying to you. It's 8 minutes away from kickoff. Big up you lot tuned in, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube. Smash the like button. Any comments, conversations, etc., get them in. And as usual, big up yourselves for being there with me. Wouldn't have it any sort of way or any other way, people. If I share my screen with you guys, and I want to say apologies. It's not my fault, but we would have obviously, this would have been our second watch along of the day, but Everton versus Liverpool, owing to the weather, was cancelled. You know, the first things first is safety for everyone connected. If the weather means you can't play a game of football and there's issues around traveling, then naturally, you know, prevention is better than cure. So yeah, we'll have to circle back for that. Now, where you look at Crystal Palace's lineup, you've got Henderson, Munoz, forgive me for mispronunciation, Chalobah, Lecole, Gurhey, who's been in hot water over the whole captain's armband thing. Don't want to get into that. Mitchell, Hughes, Lerma, Eze, the very talented Eze. You could probably guess this could be his last kind of season there. And you've got Mateta, who, is it fair to say he looks like a different player to his early days at Crystal Palace? Probably. Now, when you look at the visitors today, people, Ortega keeps his place. You know, Edison's full, much like everybody connected to City. Can't complain. Kyle Walker, who probably, if he is going to stay at Manchester City, needs to be second choice going into next season. But you've got Moreno, Walker, Diaz, Guardiola's probably the only decent performer for City in this period. Rico Lewis, Gundogan, who is enough being said about his return? I'm not sure. Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Silvinho, Nunes, and Haaland, people. Haaland, this is, I say this every week, but this is your last chance in my FPL. Vincent, appreciate you. Yo, DG, hope all is well. Thoughts on Southampton's Tyler Diblin? Broski, I love him, you know. As an Arsenal fan, I love his balance, his creativity, his low center of gravity, his dribbling. Obviously, you know, there's scope to get better and score and assist and all of that kind of jazz. You know, he actually come through Southampton, went to Chelsea, and then went back to Southampton. And, you know, obviously he's young, like he's like 17, 18. Apparently he got homesickness. Now, when you deep it, when you actually look at it from a geographical point of view, where Chelsea's training ground and all that jazz is, it's actually not that far from Southampton. But I only mention that to say at his young age, regardless of if Southampton stay in the Premier League, which I'm sure Southampton fans are hoping, or get relegated, where you would imagine he's one that could, you know, be a fire sale of sorts. Is he ready to make that move? Now, of course, you want to play in the Premier League, but I just think in today's day and age, where you look at young players, like if you're 16, 17, 18, and you're talked about as being a quality player and all of this, there's always this, you know, buy him now, 30, 40 million, make that move to the big club now, etc., which I'm sure, you know, he's got ambitions. I would love him at Arsenal Football Club, right? But I just feel you've just got to focus. You've got to get your 100 appearances, career appearances. You've got to develop. Now, I don't want to say there's no pressure at Southampton. As I just said, and as you lot know, they're obviously fighting to stay in the division. It's Premier League football. There's no hiding place, really. So there is pressure. But we all know it's a different pressure if you join the top 6 sides. One game, you're amazing. The next one, you're terrible. But would love the man at the carpet, man. You know, he's a decent young player. Seen a decent amount of him. Obviously, plays for England at youth level. So, yeah, quality player. One love for the talking points. Keep them coming, folks. Big up DG. I'm going for a 2-1 Palace win. AFC, big up yourself. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Again, I don't know the statistics, and probably if I did look at the statistics, they're probably a lot kinder to Manchester City than Crystal Palace. But it feels like nobody wants, let's be honest, nobody wants to really play at Selhurst Park. You know, Selhurst Park is one of those games where you look at, regardless of the team you support, I would say, obviously to different extents, right? But I would say no one wants to play at Selhurst Park. No one really wants to go Newcastle away. No one really wants to go Anfield. You know, these kind of grounds, right? So it's quite techie. And it feels like Crystal Palace are a bit of a bogey team for City. That being said, though, I just can't see them winning now. I'm not a fortune teller. And as I said, I hope you're right. If I was betting money, I'm going to go 2-0 City. I just think they're trying to get their runs together. Obviously, they beat Nottingham Forest midweek. Liverpool dropped points against Newcastle and the game was cancelled. Now, we all know the Merseyside derby is going to be rescheduled. But the point I'm making, if you're City, if you're Arsenal, you could even say Chelsea, even though I know Chelsea fans and obviously Maresca are quashing it. If you are to pick Liverpool, who are the front runners for the title, you've got to take your points, really, and close the gap in whatever is there, man, is what it is, man. Bless up, D. Big up Top Blue. Your comments not coming up. Oh, here we go. Bless up, DG, seeing progress on the main channel. Appreciate that. Trying, man. All you can do is try in this life, man. And I can't do it without you lot. So, yeah, big up the Twitch ones. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button. Make the YouTube algorithm do its work, people. That's what we need. We're 3 minutes away from kickoff, people. And again, owing to it being 3 o'clock, I'm having to watch this on a stream, which I do it for you lot. I hate watching games on streams. Don't forget, after this, we're going to watch Manchester United, Nottingham Forest as well. Jake, one love. Well, go on, DG. This is a big game in more ways than one. Amen. Crystal Palace is my second team because of what the club and some of their current players represent. Eze, Gerhi, etc. If you know, you know. I hear it. And, you know, I won't say I'm joining you with them being my second team because it's just an Arsenal thing for me, not criticizing you, right? But Palace is one of those teams that you don't want to play against them, but you want them to do well, man. You know, Selhurst Park's rocking. Obviously, if you know what you said there. Obviously, you know, Ian Wright, one of Ian Wright's clubs. Got time for them, really and truly, man. So, yeah, I think you're right, man. Would love, beyond the obvious of me, obviously wanting Manchester City to lose today. I'm with you with that, man. And typically, Palace got ballers. Obviously, for me personally, Crystal Palace, I don't know anything. I think you lose Mark Gerhi and possibly Eze. Obviously, price tag dictates a lot. Gerhi doesn't seem willing to sign a new deal. And I'm sure he, you know, when you're in the England squad and people are telling you about Premier League title races and winning Premier Leagues and trophies, etc., with the greatest of respect to Palace, he's good enough to be in a top 6 team. Like, he's been linked with a team. He came through the academy in Chelsea. I don't know if Chelsea are really onto him, but if I was him, not saying you're going to be first choice, but from what you've seen of, I think Colwell's good. I think Fofana needs to stay fit. But if you look at Chelsea, you look at Disasi, Colwell, Fofana, probably Tosin, I'm probably missing out other ones. You know the club. Chelsea's obviously a big club, exciting project with Maresca, all of that kind of stuff. And beyond that, do you reckon you can't like take someone's spot there? So yeah, I think Gerhi would be in high demand. Respectfully to Gerhi, probably a bias towards the more attacking players, but you do reckon this is probably Eze's last season. Now, Eze's obviously showed bits and pieces of brilliance this season, but I don't quite think he's doing what you kind of feel, really and truly. I don't really feel he's stepped up that much, and I like Eze. I don't think he stepped up in the absence of Elise. Now I'm sure they miss Elise, and you know, Palace are not stupid. They know that this is the circle of life, similar to Arsenal. If we keep being the bridesmaids and don't necessarily win trophies, then naturally one day, maybe it's a bit different because Saka's English, but the Sakas, the Salibas, these guys, if the Real Madrids and these lot are circling, you've got one career to live in it. I've only removed the lineup, people, just because obviously I'm aware of the time. It's a minute until kickoff, people. Just want to make sure we start. Please, can nothing go wrong with this stream? Please, 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 please. Live stream. I mean, so watch along settings. If that's what you're asking, my dude. Hopefully that's what you're asking. If not, I apologize. But yeah, man, just watching football with you lot, man. And again, we're watching Man United, Nottingham Forest. Tomorrow is obviously Fulham, Arsenal. And we're actually going to watch Spurs, Chelsea as well. So watch-alongs. And I think Champions League is back next week. So we're going to get on that. Like, I think we might watch one of the 5:45s. Obviously, we're going to be watching Arsenal. Like, they're the watch-alongs I look forward to. But yeah. Let me make sure the stream is doing what needs to be done as well, man. You're going to refresh? Oh, stop clicking things, big man, because this is when things go wrong. Okay, that one's working. Let's get the backup streams going as well. And yeah, I'm just waiting for kickoff at this moment, man. Big up yourself, K. Raw, your live didn't get the notification. YouTube moving mad. This is, again, I'm in the process of finding a solution around that. I do tell you lot, check out the community tabs. one, that's the best thing. Follow on Twitter and all these things because I post the stuff. I'm looking around, you know, do we make a Discord platform? I was looking into WhatsApp, like a WhatsApp group, because I see people are doing that, but there has to be a way to hide the number, in it, like, because, you know, people are going to be stupid. But we're looking at I'm looking for even email, I'm looking at ways around that, man, because we can't rely on YouTube's notifications, because it don't tell you. And I always tell you lot to get in the habit, but if you don't see it, you don't see it, man. This is why I tell you lot, get in the habit. Follow it on the socials. Just type in Deluded Gooner on YouTube. On YouTube, yeah, but on Twitter and whatnot. And and what I would say to City, on paper, probably expect them to win. How far does that go? Because on paper, their form's a bit shaky. Crystal Palace, they're going to be up for it. Obviously, they're fighting against it. There's pressure on their manager. They don't want to embarrass themselves. They need 3 points off their own back. But you look at it, Palace is going to be rocking. It's not a free hit. There's no such thing as a free hit in football, in it, because there's things on the line, right? If Palace win, hella headlines. If they lose, it's kind of respectfully, it's kind of business as usual. So there's that fearless factor. Obviously, you can say what you want about Manchester City. They're still the big dogs. And I always think, you know, if you're the Crystal Palace counterparts, this is how fair enough, you can point to City's form not being amazing. But for me, this is where you see where you're at. If you're an attacker, can you go against some of the best defenders and do a thing, etc.? And don't really want to talk about weather, but it's wet, it's windy, it's raining. It feels like it could be one of those Premier League games, people, that hopefully goes left for City. Oh, Matt Turner's on the bench for Palace. They've not tried to big up Palace and big up Turner. Some Arsenal fans tried to convince me he's lit. Crystal Palace will be kicking off today, people. Eze's in the centre circle, ready to get things going. Eze, I want to see sourcing today, man. And we're off. I want to see sourcing. I must admit, as an Arsenal fan, it's a bit weird seeing a team. Well, they've eventually gone long now, but it's a bit weird seeing a kickoff and they've not gone long. Sorry, Palace could be in here straight away. Mateta's absolutely bulldozed someone. Is that a corner? The ball hasn't gone out. Palace could have been in there already. And again, it's going to be a big test for Man City, and especially if they're going to give the ball away that cheaply. Lerma's on the ball for Palace. Eze, man to watch. Actually, ironically, again, we don't know how far rumours go, people, but he's been linked with City. I'm watching it on the stream, mate. I don't know what you want me to do. Man needs to turn on all the notifications. I did the same, and now man gets all the notifications. So, yeah. But there are a lot of people who say the notifications are on. They're getting done dirty. I don't know why that is. But yeah, one day they will work. One day we'll stop being underrated. One day we'll get to 70k, people. So yeah, big up you lot for tuning in. Crystal Palace on the ball here. Again, not expecting too much in the first 5 to 10 minutes, if I'm honest with you. Both teams are probably trying to suss each other out, trying to adjust in the game, get their rhythm, etc., etc. Speaking of Crystal Palace, Henderson, Lerma, look, it always comes up in my email. So see, there you have it. I wonder how Eddie's doing in Palace. By the silence, my guess not too well. I mean, it felt like first couple games they were rating him. But, I mean, a striker is meant to score goals. I don't think Eddie Nketiah has been doing that for Palace. So, yeah, like you said, he ain't making no noise. He ain't starting. So, yeah, he ain't doing too much. And actually, on that, what we can do is see if is Eddie Nketiah even on the bench. Obviously, I'm not in the loop. Don't know if he's on the bench. Don't know if he's fit, etc., etc. But I can look. Eddie Nketiah is on the bench. So, I mean, that's been a familiar place for Eddie Nketiah for the last couple of seasons. Crystal Palace have given the ball away very cheaply there. Rico Lewis. I think Rico Lewis, you know, you're going to take Kyle Walker's spot. I say that. Obviously, he's playing in midfield at the moment. The man can play everywhere. And he actually says, I see myself as a central midfielder. So I don't know if his future lies at right back. But you'd imagine Rico Lewis and another fullback, you know, you know what, if Kyle Walker in the next 5 to 10 games, including now, starts playing amazing, looking like the old Kyle Walker, everything I said here is redundant. But it just feels like, you know, no one can escape time, innit? Kyle Walker is never, for me, he is one of the best right backs in Premier League history. He has a case if you're doing the strongest 11, you know, he's up there with Trent, obviously himself. I don't like Gary Neville, but Gary Neville's obviously in that conversation. He's a legend in that regards. But let's be honest, he's never been an elite defender, like at all the defensive aspects. His pace has got him out of a lot of trouble. When you're losing the pace and you're in poor form, it's looking mad. Crystal Palace got some defending to do. Nunes, he's probably been the one guy to benefit from, well, not if you're going to cross the ball like that, but he's probably been the one that's benefited from injuries, from a lack of form, from Pep trying to find other solutions, because he's been starved of football since making the move from Wolves. And Pep Guardiola surely got to be feeling the pressure, man. He's getting it from all angles, the pressure onto him. Obviously, Jose and him have been doing a bit of back and forth and whatnot, people. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm still going to stick with my Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 0, but I hope to God that I'm wrong and Palace win. Speaking of Palace, Gurley's just sent Haaland for a bagel. Lerma. Very interesting setup from Palace. Not that I'm criticizing Palace, but everybody kind of plays out from the back. But they're being brave today. Mateta loses it there. Gundogan's won it back. Mitchell. I'm not sure what Gundogan was doing there, but it's here with Will Hughes, the FM Wonder Kid. That's a good touch. Who is that? The angle is dead. Who's number 7? Sarr. Oh, Palace could be in here already. Palace could be in here. And Palace are in. Come on, boys. Let's go. Muniz. Fullback Union, we're gone. Hey, let's go. City. Let's go, Palace. I told man, South London is scary. It's wet. It's windy. Palace deserve that. I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, people. I said I didn't expect much from the first 5-10 minutes. 4 minutes in, it's shoddy defending from City. But what we're not going to do is play down Palace. They've started well. They've been positive. They played out from the back well. There's no way in God's green earth that's offside. It's a fantastic ball that once again has cut City open. And Palace have taken the lead. Take nothing away from Palace. But how many times recently have we seen this? Manchester City are at 6s and 7s defensively, and VAR might save City's bacon here. I don't think it's offside. I don't know if Pep and the people that employed at City are paying their bills. But forget Palace for a second. How many times have you seen City cut open in 1 or 2 passes like that? We can talk about Rodri's absence and all of that kind of stuff, which is valid. Everyone misses big players. One, on that, Pep hasn't found a solution. You haven't got a direct replacement that is obviously is easier said than done, but better than Rodri. You haven't got someone that Rodri might be here, they might be there, and they can do a job, or you haven't found an alternative solution. And obviously, Rodri is like a handbrake. He's like Caicedo and Declan Rice and all of them guys that, give you a lot more stability defensively. But I think that's only one issue. Look how City are defending. It's absolutely crazy. By the way, people, the goal has stood. Which, to be fair, Palace deserved that. And obviously, City are under extreme pressure. But sometimes in big games like this, that could actually be the worst thing to score early. Obviously, it's always a great time to score goals, etc., people. It is. But sometimes, again, I don't think Palace are going to sit back. I always think, naturally City are there for the taking. But I always think in the Premier League, if you're having a game plan to beat City, right? It can't be centered around keeping a clean sheet, can it? It can't be. You have to expect to concede against City, if I'm honest with you. So I only say that to say Palace probably expect to concede. Do you just keep it humble, keep doing what you're doing? As I always say, 0-0 kind of mentality, or do you smell blood and go for it? Boy. Big up you lot, people. Smash the like button. And big up you lot on Twitch. What have you lot made of it so far, man? Lovely to see a good goal, an early goal, sorry, for the neutrals, because it opens things up. Bernardo Silva to Kevin De Bruyne. Haaland might make it 1-1. He doesn't. To be fair, he was falling over. Take nothing away from Dean Henderson. You've got to be a mad bastard to be a goalie anyways, and he's shown why. Should Haaland have scored that? Probably historically. But his form has been woeful, and I think all us FPL fans are dying really and truly in that regard. So, yeah, man, Palace have taken the lead, probably on brand here, man. Big up yourself, experienced sport, man. I can't understand French, but yeah, got Will Hughes looking like Prime Iniesta. It's over for them. It probably could be. FM Wonder Kid, man. It feels like Will Hughes been in the Prem forever. He probably has. Dean Henderson is still on the floor. We hope he's all right. I'm not sure if Haaland's caught him inadvertently. Occupational hazard settings. I don't know if he's taking a blow to the face. He's getting back up to his feet now. Credit to Palace. Completely cut City open. It's Man City, they're shaking in the early stages and going a crazy run. I think you're right, Els. And I actually think I cut excuses for City in that regards, because I always say that I'm like, bro, it's City, it's Pep, it's this, that, it's like, at some point they're going to go on a mad run. But the more that they're playing like this, and assuming they lose this with their form and everything, how many weeks are we going to say that? Because obviously, in the grand scheme of things, it's still very early, quote unquote, in the Premier League. But how much are we going to say that? Like, how far is that going to go? And you're giving yourself a mountain to climb. And again, obviously, isolated from City, it's going to sound dumb, yeah, but sometimes you can see teams winning games, but they're not necessarily playing well. Sometimes a bit like even with Arteta, there was a point way before we was, you know, the bridesmaids and fighting, and people are 1 minute he's copying Pep, then he's Pulis, then he's this, he's that. There were times there was periods, better yet, where we've played well, but we've not got the results. So I only waffle about that to say this. I try and look at what I'm seeing over 90 minutes, and if I'm honest with you, it's same old right now from City. It's listen. Who am I? I will never criticize beyond healthy criticism Pep Guardiola and what them players have done. Never been in their shoes, right? But for me, I think it looks stale. It looks predictable. Can't defend. Not clinical in the final third. Midfield is out of sorts to the point where, oh, and Palace could be in here again. Fortunately for Ortega, it's not that. I always wonder, on one hand, I think, yeah, when you're like these players at City, you've won, you know, some of you have won multiple Premier Leagues, you've all won serious things, right? I always think when you win major honors once, you're hungry to keep going again and again. Like Wenger used to say, right? It's stamina and motivation. But then I think of it, surely you have to question, not Pep Guardiola, because you signed a new deal. Obviously, you look at Pep Guardiola's track record to win and win again and again and again, right? But do you question the hunger? Like, if you're used to eating banquets and stuff like that at a table, you don't remember what it feels like to be hungry, to go to sleep with nothing in your belly. And that's what I feel with the City players. I think there's an imbalance. I feel the experienced players are looking past it. Obviously, they've had injuries and whatnot, but the experienced players look complacent. You have to question their hunger. You have to question their desire. And I think in hindsight, City were probably like, City, I won't say overhaul, innit, but probably needed to sign some blockbusters or level raisers or proper fresh blood. It looks like there's an imbalance. You've got Salvinho, Rico Lewis, Doku, young kind of players that are still learning the tricks and trades of the game. On paper, listen, City got quality players, but you look at the, you know, he's not playing and he's got injuries, and that's probably a point. You look at the Diaz's, the Stoneses, the Akanjis, the Edisons, the Kevins, like they look a bit stale. The only one, and maybe not so much today, but the only one in this City period that I've looked at and I thought, yeah, you know what? You're actually trying. You actually look like you're with it. It's been Guardiola. 9 times out of 10, it's been Guardiola, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, it is what it is. Something's got to change, man. Big up you lot. Pep might leave. This guy's a madman. As Ronnie said, familiarity breeds contempt. True that. Bully beef and rice. Trust me, you don't remember what hunger feels like when you're eating noodles. They don't remember that. And they've been overdue that for a while. Like, I'm not being funny, yeah. And I'm only saying this because I rate Pep Guardiola. Like, you're a generational manager, arguably the greatest coach I've seen in my lifetime. You've turned this into a quote-unquote, to a degree, a farmers league. You've won stuff at Bayern, Barca, here. You get it. You're all of that. But because I rate you, I think, I'll be honest, I think you're getting away with murder because, you know, if you look at, obviously, Maresca and Arteta are not in the same realm, right? But if there was no solutions when Caicedo's injured, when Declan Rice is injured, where, I don't know, for United or whatever, the language is very different. If Pep Guardiola is this good manager, which he is, why has he not been able to find solutions? Because injuries can happen at any time. City could be in here, that's a good ball, but where are the people in the box? It's gone all the way out here to the right-hand side. Gundogan strikes, he's blocked. And you know what? Maybe, yeah, obviously, let's be honest. Like, when Pep was signed, well, to be fair, Arsenal laid the foundations for City's success because you used to just buy our players, if I'm completely honest with you. But let's be honest, like Man City, like it was just it just being, you lot wanted to be Barcelona in your own way, but you wanted to do the Barca thing, which you kind of have done with Pep Guardiola. You wanted to dominate the league and win trophies and be the envy of football, which you have been at points. But I do think beyond that, it's the Champions League. The club wanted the Champions League. Pep probably wanted to win naturally, but win a Champions League in the next team and all of these things. I think the Champions League, I can't say it's the worst thing. It's definitely not the worst thing, but I just think a lot of that hunger has gone. Cardi won the Champions League, the pinnacle of club football, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, man, that's just what I think. What do I know, man? This is it. Uncomfortable conversations if it wasn't Pep. Exactly. And if we rate Pep and he's the Messiah and he's a genius, bro, like, as I'm being disingenuous here, clearly, but you're missing your 6. You can't underestimate Rodri. Clearly, he's their most important player, right? But you're Pep Guardiola, all that money, all the people you bought, what's going on? Yeah, they've had Kevin inconsistencies. Rodri ain't been there, but injuries happen. I say it with Arsenal. And conversations need to happen. And to be fair, I'm exaggerating a bit. I'm exaggerating majorly. And like I said, we've seen City win trebles, 100 points, They've done crazy things in it. So I'm exaggerating a bit, but if City were to somehow turn around their current situation, pip Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever to the Premier League, surely this has to be Pep's greatest Premier League trophy or Premier League achievement because of what we're talking about, because what we're seeing, because they're making it tougher. Mitchell's gone down the left-hand side, right-hand side of City. Well, it froze now, but it looked like Kyle Walker dealt with that. And this is, as I said at the start, and as you lot know, this is a nasty footballing. Oh, it's about to be 2. Oh, if Mateta could get his head on that. This is one of those nasty football games, football grounds you don't want to go to, really. Nobody wants to go Palace, go Liverpool away, go Anfield, and all these things. Jeremy Corbyn, nuts, line breaker, better than Rice. I'm not sure what that means, but that's crazy. Brentford 1, Newcastle 1, Palace are balling, winning trebles and titles every other season in a league where you're the one big dog is one thing, but the Premier's getting stronger and stronger. It is, man. Chelsea are not going to lie down. I think they've got the facilities and the budget and all of that, and I think Maresca's doing his thing. I don't know how it's going to work for Man United, but I am quite fond of Ruben Amorim as a coach. I hope he's more like AVB than Jose. And I'm not saying to compare him to Arteta, but I look at when Arteta walked in and there was a certain aura, there was a certain way he carried himself, there was a certain things he was doing. I feel a bit like that with Manchester City. Obviously, I'm not scared of Newcastle anytime soon, but because of what they're doing, maybe in the next 3, 4, 5+ years, they'll be in the conversations. Liverpool, we don't know what they're going to look like in seasons beyond. But right now, it looks like Onslaught, there's nothing to panic about. Obviously, Arsenal are there as well. So, yeah, everybody's getting stronger. I think City have shot themselves in the foot more so than anything. Kyle Walker with a long, but I just think it looks predictable, man. And yeah, in a good way it was, but they're not playing how they normally play, which is great, man, really and truly. I must admit, I've got no disrespect to Pep, Manchester City as a football club, or I hate to refer to it as an organization, but your players, your players are very arrogant. They're quite rude. They're quite disgusting. They lack humility. They're a bunch of privileged pussies, if I'm honest with you. Like, we all saw the aftermath of the Arsenal game. We all saw how they moan and complain. 1 minute, Arsenal just want to sit back. If you lot could sit back, you wouldn't be in this. Then it was, Liverpool tried to play us, and they're lacking humility, lacking it. And fair enough, I guess, if you're a couple of them players, you can talk. But when I'm hearing people like Akanji, don't forget yourself, Yeah, you're a professional footballer at City. Don't forget yourself. You owe Pep Guardiola. You was a clown at Dortmund. How dare you talk like that? But yeah, moving on. Is that Odegaard, Saka? Imagine that'd be great. Is that scored again? Why didn't we get this, brother? Will Hughes is better than Rice on the ball. That's great. He can be. You play further forward. You should be, really. You're not a 6 like Declan Rice. You should be better on the ball. That's cool. Declan Rice didn't make his career off passing the ball forward. Dean Henderson, Lerma's had I don't want to jinx you because you're on the ball here, but you've had a decent start in particular to the game. Take nothing away from it. The whole of Palace, we haven't really spoken about Eze, which could be a gift or a curse. And do you know what? I don't know how it's going to end for you, Palace, but you've started well. You're brave. You're sharper. Naturally, the talk is going to be about City's form, how they've been playing, all of that jazz. But I think that's a bit disingenuous because right now Palace deserve a lot of plaudits. They're being brave, playing out from the back. Naturally, they're going to get themselves in trouble on occasion. And they're Mr. Chalobah. Wait. When did Chalobah rock up at Palace? I did not get the memo, boy. Gundogan, disarmed by Will Hughes. Oh, it's here with Eze. Are we going to have conversations about Gundogan and this return to City, or Eze, I'm not quite sure what you was doing there, what you tried to find there. Hope things are good, bro. Big up yourself. Palace are balling today. People just say stuff. Selhurst Park and St. James's are the worst stadiums to go in bad form. Even on the best of days. Palace are nasty stadium. For rivals, it's tight, it's compact. South London is scary. St. James's Park, same logic. You throw Anfield in there. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne, could he be in here? He's found Haaland. Haaland isn't bringing the ball with him. Another decent chance. I mean, what we can't do is act like City are out of this. Maybe they haven't shown it on current form. The quality that City players have on paper and possess, they can score just like that. But they're going to need to score. And to be fair, Kevin De Bruyne Haaland's got to control that better. Stay humble, Pussy. That's correct. South London is scary. Yeah, we said it was load to help Gerhi back to Chelsea. DG, how would you rate a summer window of Zubamendi, Isaac, and Liao? Bro, that's an amazing window, bro. I'd be a bit stingy because it's still not an 8. Still think we need another defender. But, bro, like, if Arsenal had Isaac Liao to go with Saka and Martinelli and Trossard, and you know what, probably Jesus or something would have to leave. No complaints from me. Big fan of Zubamendi. Liao would frustrate the lives out of me. Like, I do think he is overrated. And what I mean by that is I think, you played great against Atalanta. I think you're a talented player, but I think you play within yourself. I think I think you're here and you can be there. You've got the raw materials to consistently contribute a lot more across a 90-minute period. But one thing I'll give Mikel Arteta, the man's not Superman, but he has improved. Martinelli is not the Martinelli of 2 years ago. He has improved under Mikel Arteta. Saka's got better. Odegaard's got better. So hopefully he's a defender, but Saliba. So these kind of early to mid 20 kind of regions, maybe you can get a tune out of him. Diaz has completely smashed that ball at Gundogan, and Crystal Palace have won it again. If I'm Palace, you can't be greedy, but you need another goal. It's here with Eze. Can they get another one? Eze's actually started quite slow, if I'm honest. Eze, he tried to lay it on the plate, corner kick to Palace, and this is the issue. Palace are playing with belief. City are in a poor run of form. City look like they know what they're doing when they're playing out from the back, but on the defensive transition, there's too much space. They're all over the place, and Crystal Palace are playing with invention and intention, and they look like they can make something happen every time they pour forward. The only worry for Palace is, do you need another one? Because based on this, we're approaching the 20-minute mark. Should be 2, maybe 3 is an exaggeration, but City count themselves lucky that it's only 1-0, if I'm honest with you. Maybe I should have put Mateta in my FPL team. That's a good call. Oh, Lord. That's why Lerma's not in the team to score. Sarr. Oh, no. I'm like, no, that is not Lerma. That is Sarr. Sarr, you are in the team to score and assist. The hell is that? He's on the edge. Well, he's just inside the Manchester City box. He's fallen to him from a corner. He's completely got under it. And you know what? If you're not watching the game in the stands, the ball's probably licked in your head. Should be scoring. I'll never forget Sarr, man. Some Arsenal fans going a bit too crazy over him, man. People say Martinelli can play as a striker. I don't think so. Martinelli can't play as a striker for now. You never know. There was a point where, obviously, I'm not comparing him to Alexis Sanchez or Luis Suarez, but I thought he could be one of them kind of players. Your intelligence across 90 minutes is not there. You're not clinical enough from the left-hand side, let alone up front. You're not really one of those players that affects the game when you're not scoring. Not good enough with your back to goal. And we all know playing up front for a Mikel Arteta system is a selfless kind of arcs. It's not necessarily rightly or wrongly about scoring goals. If it was, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, newly summer edition, Eddie Nketiah is on the bench, familiar surroundings for him, they probably don't go up front. So, yeah, man, like, maybe later on in his career, but right now I can't. There was a point I could see, I can't. Oh, that's a good ball into Will Hughes. Will Hughes to Eze. Can Eze get on the score sheet? Eze, hit it, man. What the hell? Too much foreplay. Clot it. If you're offside, you know what? I hope you're offside for your sake. And he is. I like Eze a lot, man. How can you not? I'd take him at Arsenal tomorrow, wavy. But with the greatest of respect to Crystal Palace, when you're at Palace and you're the big dog, you're the skillers and all of that, then you can kind of get away with that. If you're at Arsenal, Chelsea, City, everybody, I'm not saying Eze is worse or better, but you got multiple players that in theory can do all of this. Got to go to the next level now, Eze. Baller. My favourite Haaland is humble Haaland. Sarr fell off. Still think Osimhen would fit on well at Arsenal, would be a good signing. I think they like Victor Gyökeres. They might like him, but Victor Osimhen, I just feel where you probably look at his wages, his injuries, the commission his agent was probably going to get, and the transfer fee probably didn't make it worth it. And to be fair with you, not just Arsenal, when you see people like different situations, right? But where you look at Osimhen or you look at Ivan Toney, different situations, as I said, we all know Napoli were gearing up to sell him, egg on their faces now. Toney had a year left on his deal, would not stop talking about leaving, right? And, I feel the same kind of clubs are linked with the same kind of strikers for different reasons. You can make a case of Arsenal needing a striker, Chelsea needing an out-and-out number 9 as well, Man United needing one, and things like that, right? And we're all, in the summer, we're all kind of linked with the same names. Respectfully to Osimhen, because let's not diss Galatasaray, Turkey and whatnot. There's got to be a reason that you ended up there. And there's got to be a reason why all these teams that I've said that were linked with you, and probably some others, why did no one go and grab you? It's like Ivan Toney. Maybe everyone missed the trick, but maybe... Palace should be 1-1. It should be 1-1. Salvinho, poor. Gundogan was purring in the initial effort. But yeah, like if all these teams didn't go and grab Osimhen, is there something that, obviously we're just football fans, we're not in the world of football. Is there something, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him, but is there something kind of wrong with the deal? If not for the player's abilities, attitude, or anything, is there something that people are not on? Because like no one went for him, or to our knowledge, no one went for him. It could have just been a peace thing, but no one went for him. He's actually been linked with Juventus, man. DG, who is your favorite fullback of all time? I had to disown one because obviously, you know, I'm not going to say his name. We don't condone what he did off the field. He used to play for Brazil and Barcelona. Obviously, I used to even love him at his Sevilla days. That was it. That's a good question, you know. There's a couple, you know. That's a good question, man. Like, wait, cut the track. I'll get back to it. Oh, no, we can. Palace attack has come to nothing. No order, because I'm not sure, but Ashley Cole, Roberto Carlos, Cafu, Marcelo. I hate how he talks about Arsenal, and he wouldn't be my favorite, but he's one of them. Evra is defo there. Not the best, but Lauren, just because you played for Arsenal and whatnot. Who else is there? You know what? Trent, you know. Trent, just because of how he plays that role, if I'm honest with you. There's probably a couple more. If any, I'd say Roberto Carlos first. I'm definitely missing someone, though, man. Good question, man. Keep it calm. I'm definitely missing someone. Me, though. In fact, I'm my favorite fullback. As you said, we need another 8. We need 8-8. Like, I like certain man in midfield. 16 is what's required. Marcelo for me. DG, I like Ollie Watkins, but Duran's the truth. Would love Duran. I like Ollie Watkins a lot as well, man. Yeah, man. We don't condone what he said, though. I know people will laugh. Leighton Baines was a shout. Baines was doing his thing, but I wouldn't say favorite. You're not in my favorite. Like, you know, I'm never gonna watch. Well, now I might watch your highlights, but I wouldn't say favorite. I like respectfully to Leighton Baines, but look at the names I said there, and there's many I'm missing out. Hey, Philip Lahm as well. Like I said, there's people missing out. Throw him into the list. Prime Cancelo was lit. But yeah, for me, you was quality, you was cold, you was sick, but I saw Cafu do it for time. I saw Marcelo do it for time. I won't say his name, but we saw the madman do it for time. We saw Ashley Cole do it for time. You know, like years of work. Trent, quality. Yeah, I said Cafu. Cafu cold. Like, I'm going to be biased to the Brazilians. Roberto Carlos, different as well. DG, if you couldn't support Arsenal, what London club would you support? Oh, London club. See, I could sit here and say I'd be a Palace fan. I wouldn't mind supporting West Ham, really, but like I could sit here and say West Ham and Crystal Palace, and I'm not going to sit here and lie and say Brentford or even Leighton Orient, even though they're not in the Prem. Could sit here and say, well, to be fair, I did used to go to a lot of Barnet games. And Barnet, I hope it wouldn't be the team that I live 2 minutes away from, but it would make sense geographically. It probably would have been the boys in blue. I can't lie to you, baby. If to answer that question, it would have been the boys in blue, innit? Like it would have to be, if I'm honest with you. Yesterday, man, dreamt of champs and that. Better wake up, because we ain't winning that. By God's grace, I'm wrong, though. Big up you lot, man. Silvinho, no goals in December. Hey, it's tight up. It's tight, boy. He's quality, though. Shut up, Bernardo, man. Shut up. Get out of Mitchell's pocket, mate. Prick. I must admit, and you lot know me. The receipts are there on YouTube. You lot know I'm a big waffler about Bernardo Silva. Love the player. I think his quality. Wanted him at Arsenal. Fell in love with him as a footballer many years ago for Portugal's under-21s in the under-21s championship. But I hate you now, you know. That's why they probably say there's a thin line between love and hate. Like, I actually hate you. I don't like your attitude. You are a privileged pussy, if I'm honest with you. I don't like how you move. Best not to reflect on nightmares. Of course, you'd be a Chelsea fan, champs cabinet. Wouldn't even be because of that, you know. Well, yeah, I guess so. Like, but that ain't why you start supporting clubs. Like, I didn't start supporting Arsenal because they necessarily won. Like, for me, it was identifiability. Like, yeah, I'm 29. Used to get called a glory hunt for supporting Arsenal. And yeah, but you know what? It could have ended up being Man United. But for me, I'll be like a big reason as to why I supported Arsenal is because I'm seeing a bunch of people on the TV that look like me. Like, or you get where I'm going, innit? So there's that. It would have been for the Jogbas of this world. Frank Lampard's one of my favorite non-Arsenal players as well. Like, you can't, like, Premier League heritage. Palace could be in here. Go on, Mateta. Hey, come on, man. Oh, that is a fantastic bit of defending by. Is that Guardiola or Diaz? This stream is horrible. I think it was Diaz, man. I think it was Diaz, folks. Palace, I hope you don't regret these half chances. You know, I really don't. Palace, you're playing superbly. Love it. Ian Wright was my reason. And then, yeah, like for me, my 3 favorite Arsenal players, and I hate to do this. In fact, there's more than 3, but if you put a gun to my head, in fact, there's 4. And there's, you know, we're just talking about Chelsea. I know some people are going to get onto me. He used to play for Arsenal, should have been a one club man, should have ended up being our captain, but he effed off to Chelsea. And congratulations to him. He won a bunch of trophies in it. I know you're going to kill me, but he's up there for one of my favorite Arsenal players. And I feel, even though I'm 29, I think you kind of, when I start getting into my favorite players, I'm starting to think now, like, I kind of have to branch it into subsections because there's just been so many players in it. But for me, couldn't not, like, bro, you could never have watched Dennis Bergkamp and not, like, Dennis Bergkamp's a man that is why you go and watch football games. Like, he does things with a football, you get it. Like, I've always loved guys like that. Like, they're all different, but the Dennis Bergkamps, the Messi, I'm just going to say, obviously Henry as well, but I'm talking about the majestic kind of play. Oh, did Haaland bag? Did he score? Did he not? Did that go wide? Erling Haaland has bagged. And as I said, I hope you don't come to regret that, Palace, man. You can't call a man duppy until he's dead, as they say. And Haaland has scored. Muted celebration. Camera angle weren't the best there. He's headed it in. What happened there? Oh, this stream is dead, man. I think Núñez has put the ball into the box. I'm not sure if Haaland's offside, but it's a great delivery. It's a great header. He's pinned his centre half. I'm not blaming Dean Henderson. Not quite sure what he's doing out there, but either way, at this moment, I don't know if VAR will have a look at that. 15 minutes in, it could be 1-1. But hey, well, that was short-lived. City hate watch ain't gonna last, is it? Boy, I guess there's a silver lining. You know, Haaland, you've only taken about 12 weeks off, and you know, you've scored for my FPL team. But yeah, where was we? Them kind of, I've always liked them mavericky kind of players, you know, like they're all different. But Eden Hazard, pardon me, Henry was like that as well. But I'm talking like, you don't know what I'm on about, innit? Them creative man like Mesut Ozil, on the ball, Paul Scholes, to a lesser degree, Michael Carrick. Eden Hazard, I've said his name. Payet for when you was at West Ham doing crazy things like that. They're the things that you go and watch games for. Dennis Bergkamp, if I haven't said that, and many others in it. Like, in this day and age, I wouldn't. For me, unpopular opinion, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is creative, and I'm also saying this for Kevin De Bruyne, like not really Trent. I'm not a fan of this new age, and that's probably why I love Odegaard. I'm not a fan of this new age creativity. Take nothing away from it, you know. If you know, footballers, technical level, all of that stuff. But for me, creativity is a sixth sense thing. It's that kind of stuff. I don't really. It's not that I don't rate it, but I don't like Kevin De Bruyne is gonna do the same pass 10 times, and I respect the fact that you can do that pass 10 times, but you're just doing the same thing. There was a bit of a randomness and a sixth sense, and you can't like you can see I'm kind of struggling to articulate when you're seeing Hazard do the majestic thing or Mesut Ozil, so on and so forth. There's many players, not just the names I've said, but that's what I like from footballers. Dennis Bergkamp, like you can't, you know where I'm at, man. So yeah, man. Haleb, one of my favorites. I mean, favorite. So yeah, going back to that. Ashley Cole, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Robert Perez, Sol Campbell, 1,000,000%. And then there's a couple other players like get Hale up and whatnot, but yeah, you know, Haleb's my guy. I wouldn't say, you know, salute, but I wouldn't say favorite. If we, like I said, we kind of got to branch it. So if we air Highbury, you know, whether you started at Highbury and went to the Emirates, if we just air the players, hey, says Fabregas as well, throw him into everything I've been saying, in the little things we've been talking about, right? But if we kind of ignore Highbury and just skip to the Emirates, like favorite Arsenal players, Emirates era, I think Saka's there for me already. I'll be real. Saka's there already. Saka's there. Odegaard's there. Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, you two are there. A lot of players. I like Ben White. I actually like. You're not with them, man, for me, but I like you. I think Timber's going to get there for me. I kind of like all the players, really and truly. I'd say them. Arshavin. Yeah. Unpopular opinion. Giroud. I loved Giroud. I just think Arsenal misprofiled him. You're taking a man that's a facilitator, not a facilitator like Eden Hazard and that. But you look at how Chelsea used him. You look at how AC Milan used him. You look at how France used him. What I mean by a facilitator is, you get players. Giroud, Giroud's life is a movie, innit? And when people think about Arsene Wenger, yeah, you can talk about Henry and all of these things he's done. People like Giroud sum up Arsene Wenger as a man. You look at Giroud, I've always loved him. I love it. And again, all of this is a bit of a sub story. His story is a career of resilience. He got released from bare teams, weren't really rated, always reacts when his back's against the wall, even for France and for Arsenal, he's always reacted, right? But struggled to be a footballer, did his thing at Montpellier, won 2 trophies at Arsenal, won some major honours at Chelsea, France's top goal scorer or something like that. But Giroud's a facilitator. He's a big man that can score some important goals, but he's not going to get you 20 goals. So you have Giroud on the pitch. I actually think Arsenal, Giroud right now, I'm telling you, it's going to sound mad, yeah, but if Arsenal had Giroud right now, I'm telling you, we wouldn't need a striker. You and Havertz could do a thing. But yeah, Giroud was a big man, could do that traditional stuff. And I'm going off on a tangent. It's completely irrelevant, yeah. But one reason I love Giroud is actually something that you shouldn't rate. I think it was Boxing Day against QPR. Alexis Sanchez missed a penalty, but he also scored. Giroud got sent off for like reacting angrily to Nader Manua. I was at the game. I've always loved that, innit? But yeah, Giroud's a big man. Obviously can play as a traditional striker. Very good link-up play for a big man. Very good link-up play. Like his assists are quite good. There's a reason Griezmann, Mbappe, all these guys like playing with him. Hazard as well. Selfishly, I think they like playing with him. Is Giroud's not a man that's going to run him back, like dribble with the ball. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to pass Giroud the ball back. He's going to lay you off for a 1-2. You might get an assist because as soon as he does that, he's crashing in the box. Giroud crazy, man. But where Arsenal effed up, we still do it to this day. You take a man that's good for the squad, that's a facilitator, a rotationary option. You're trying to make him, because, Van Persie, you're trying to put him in the Van Persies, the Bamians, the Henrys, not the Haalands, not a striker, but based on the Harry Kane, but not a striker, but based on the goals he gets, Salah. You're trying to make him them 20-goal man. That's never going to be him. He's going to score a lot of goals and do a lot of things. But yeah, man, for me, people like Giroud sum up Arsene Wenger's career because many people don't look at Dons like that. I don't like Koscielny no more, but even a Koscielny. But I don't hold Koscielny in that regards. But yeah, I'd say Alexis, Ozil, Giroud. I've said a bunch of players that are playing right now. Sagna, even though you're pussy off for leaving on a free, but you had dead defenders, so it was nice to have one there. Jack Wilshere, 100%. Nasri. Like, forget Arsenal. Again, majestic. Nasri was a baller. I might be overrating Nasri, right? He's obviously had a great career, played for his country, won stuff at City, played for Arsenal, done great things. I think Nasri was good, but I think he could have been great. Like, I don't think he scratched the surface of truly what he could have accomplished in this football team as a player. Like, yeah, man, Nasri was different. And I know the football landscape's changed, but I miss when Arsenal used to get these guys, man. Very arrogant, very arrogant. Santi Cazorla's defo up there. Ramsey as well. I don't hold Ramsey in as high regard as Arsenal fans because I think they look at... I don't think he ever did it for a whole season, give or take. But what I can't deny is he scored some very good goals. He scored some vital goals for us. Big up Aaron Ramsey, innit? Like, he rejected Man United to sign for us. So, yeah, big up Aaron Ramsey. He's in there, man. He's in there. DG, what's the best accent in the UK? I'm going to say London, but it's going to sound mad. Sometimes it's going to sound... Well, to be fair, like, off the wax, for me as a Londoner, I do like to speak to girls from outside of London because I find it quite lit. But, Guardiola playing a dangerous game. I've said this before. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm about to say this. I don't know why people... But I wish I had a Liverpudlian accent, a Liverpool accent. I don't know why. I just find it fascinating. Or I wish I sounded like, if not Liverpool, like somewhere up north. I don't know, man. I just feel... Obviously, there's good and bad people elsewhere, but they're just... I don't know why. For me, anyways, I think I gravitate a lot more towards people that don't live in London, or in particular people from up north. They just seem a bit more honest, heart on their sleeve, guys and girls and whatnot. Worse accent. Hey, Bristol, big up you lot. Don't hate me, but I'd say Bristol and Plymouth. Yeah, you lot sound like a mad. You lot sound mad. You lot sound mad. Them up north gal are friendly. A black girl with a Scouse accent. Birmingham's decent. Birmingham DG's girl loves us. Brummies asks her. Like, man. I don't know why. I wish I had a Liverpudlian accent, man. Nah, you want Carragher and Neville's voice. No chance. Nah, not like them. Not like them. I wouldn't mind sounding like Gerrard. Liverpool. Right back. I just wanted, like, I don't know why. I've always wanted to sound like that. Well, to be fair, you lot probably wouldn't even watch me. Like, big up my guy Tariq, man. Ain't no one want to sound like you brummies though, man. Oh, word to CB in life. You got to take that risk. You got away with that Henderson and Palace. Big up Palace, man. The only thing you've done, Lerma, blind passes. Before that, the only thing I feel Palace have done poorly is the marking, which led to the goal, and probably not taking your half chances. Mine is Manny, top accent. Yorkshire accent is the worst. I'm joking. Let me stop before the Twitch mods do up EDL settings and block me. Merseyside cancelled because of a bit of win. Game's gone. This guy, man. And it's a bit of a cheat code, I must admit. Like, speaking to women, I mean, some of you want to speak to men, and galley out there, it's a bit of a cheat code having a London accent, talking to girls from outside of town. That's worked for me in more ways than you'd imagine. I'm joking. I'm making all of this up. Disclaimer, don't know who's listening. There's something about Arshavin that makes it impossible to hate him. Like Arshavin, maybe I'm exaggerating, but Arsenal were going through serious austerity measures when we signed Arshavin. That was a big money signing for us. Arshavin was lit. Like the favorite goal I've seen him. My favorite goal from him is against Blackburn. He scored from one acute tight angle, but you look at that, you look at the goal against Man United, you look at Barcelona, you look at Liverpool. Arshavin was a bad boy. His work rate was on the floor, man. And yeah, Streets and would never forget Heleb. Heleb ball, original low socks done. Told you City are winning. I wish he was wrong, but yeah. January is coming. Any transfer news incoming soon, possibly. Check out the video I did yesterday. But today I haven't seen anything where Arsenal's concerned. But you know we're going to still get linked. It's not going to happen in January. Of course, I hope I'm wrong. But you know it's easy to link Arsenal with strikers. So Osimhen, Vlahovic, Isak, Gyökeres. They're probably going to refresh one of the rumors like that Santiago Jimenez brother at final who scored a bad boy bicycle kick thing recently. Easy to link us with them. Still link with Kudus. Mbuemo's getting thrown in. It's easy to link us with these guys, right? And then in terms of outgoings, for a variety of different reasons, Kivior, Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, these lot are going to be linked with moves, man. And I think Arsenal need to dip into the market in January. If we're able to do it, if players are quote unquote available, and if they're not available, whether Arsenal want to make them available by putting the P's down, I don't know. There obviously is some examples of when Arsenal have invested heavily in January or been prepared to. Like on one hand, you could poke fun at Arsenal and say, oh yeah, we're bidding for players you know you're not going to get. But they did try to put the P's down to get Caicedo, who went to Chelsea in January. Obviously, Mudryk also went to Chelsea, and you know hindsight's great in that regards. But they were prepared to put the bag down. We obviously signed Aubameyang in January. We didn't just sign Aubameyang. Obviously, there was a bit of turnover and things were going on, so you never know. But it's probably going to be the Jorginho, Trossard types, Kivior types. You know, Kivior, what was that, 20, 30 million? You know, respectfully to Bologna or Spezia or wherever we bought him from. Palace have some defending to do here, people. It could get worse. Silvinho, has he overran it? Gone for the shot, funded over. Yeah, that didn't really break the bank. Obviously, when we signed Trossard, him and De Zerbi already had a bust up, so he's got 1 foot out the door. Jorginho, Chelsea said, yeah, you need to cut. And January's a reactive window anyways. Like, nobody really wants to buy and sell players in an ideal world. You know, players are not happy with their football. There's injuries. There's all these kind of things. You've only got a month. Obviously, I think one thing that goes really underrated, and I know people can say what they want about Bruno Fernandes, and there's probably been a couple of others. You could say Trossard to a degree, right? But there's a lot of players that join a team mid-season in January, and like they need time to adapt and get with it. And you're already playing catch-up, really. Look at Odegaard. His first 6 months weren't anything to shout about. Some Arsenal fans were screaming Buendia is better than Donny, right? And all of that. So there's also that aspect as well. I hope Arsenal dip into the market. Kudus is another one that we keep getting linked with, but I'm not going to hold my breath in it. Erling Haaland, he's got Kevin De Bruyne to his right. Probably forced Kevin out wide too much. Kevin's a brilliant footballer. He almost gave him a great pass. Good bit of defending from Palace. Palace need to keep their heads, need to switch on, or City could possibly, in my opinion, nick a second. I must admit, Palace, you've been great in the first half. In the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes, I won't quite say the tide's turning, but it's probably been the point where City have looked closest to where City have been. That's a good ball from Eze into Mitchell. Mitchell showing why he's a left back, because that pass from him was horrible. Mateta's done well to chase a lost cause, and it's the goal scorer Muniz, probably bullish, done well, but you need to pass it, mate. Will Hughes, who's turned into Iniesta, as one of you lot said. Lerma, and I mean that Sarr opportunity, you've got to score there. I'm not putting it all on Eze, but. And, you know, Eze can make things happen. But it's games like this, if I'm honest, man need to see Eze looking head and shoulders above everyone. Eze's not the worst player on the pitch, but, oh, gosh, Haaland could be in here. You're in trouble. Did you foul him? Surely that's a free kick. Oh, Palace, you got away with one. Maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah, Muniz has been better. Lerma's done a lot better. I think Eze's been a bit quiet. Now, obviously, you're the danger man. They're going to be on to you. It's a team game. As I said, I'm a big fan of Eze. But it's games like this, to me, who's a casual Crystal Palace watcher, and you don't know me, I'm always making videos like, let's sign Eze. You got to give me something to work with, man. I'm not asking you necessarily to score from 30, 40 yards and do that magic stuff, but man, I ain't really seeing you bring that into the table today. Really. If I'm honest, prediction for tomorrow, DG. 2-1 Arsenal, last minute winner. Mateta, he's strong, but so is Guardiola. Good hold-up play from the forward, wearing the number 14. He's dropping his shoulders like Odegaard, and I mean, it's taken about 30 years, but still, that's a good ball. To be fair to you, Gurhi, I think your teammates have done you a bit dirty. No one chasing that. Obviously, you put the ball into the box where Mateta's giving it to you, so he can't. The one you want in the box there is what is. Apparently, we got a youth from Barca Academy that Arteta wanted. Where's that? Where did you see that? Big up yourself, man. DG, can you see a blockbuster sign in January, or do you think it's a summer thing? Personally, I can't see it this Jan. Yeah, it's a summer thing, isn't it, really and truly? Because, as I said, players are not like... It's a reactive window anyways. And then you have the other option. Do you make players available? And what I mean by that is what you lot already know, in that offers that people can't refuse. Can you really see Arsenal doing that for Isaac? Can you see them doing that for a Kudus? All of them kind of names there. DJ, I enjoyed watching the United stream when you were calling your so-called friends who weren't picking up when you called. Appreciate that, H. But that's United fans. And I think everyone's got friends and family like that. When they beat you or your team suffers an L, this, their front line, they're around. It is what it is. When they lose, whoosh, missing. Eze or Sancho, DG. Oh. See, I'm a bigger fan of Jadon Sancho, but then... What have I seen? To be gassing it? What have I really seen from Jadon Sancho? Yeah, I've seen you do it in the Champs. I've seen you do it for Dortmund. But in the Prem, he ain't done nothing really for Man United. You had a good game against Tomiyasu a few years ago, and Tommy also had a good game against him. Got a couple of assists for Chelsea, and you scored in their last game. I like him. I'd rather Eze. I think Sancho's more talented, but then again, I might be capping because it feels like Eze's got more gears to his game. I think for Arsenal, I'd rather Eze. You're a bit more versatile and all of that stuff. But then again, if we sign Jadon Sancho, it's not going to happen. I wouldn't cry. Silvinho, Mateta with some defending. To be fair, does a point help either side? Now, obviously, it's still City. I'm sure Crystal Palace will be the happier. And they actually taking the lead. So how far does that go? But when you deep, it does. Considering the pressure around, I believe the mounting pressure, to be fair, around the Crystal Palace gaffer, and obviously what Pep and City face, does a point really help either side? I don't know, man. We seem to favour the Moreno type signings of a 35 mil decent player. Will we have an Eddie replacement by Jan Arthur? The biggest question there, exactly. And even that, like, does the transfer plans, are they put to a hold because there's no guy to replace Edu? Are we still trying to conduct stuff? Not even just the summer. I mean, January, because realistically, half of the summer signings for all clubs it's now. I'm not saying everyone's doing it, but this is where you're talking with agents. They're going on dinners. You're getting things done. Are we getting things done regardless? And when the next guy comes in, he's just going to be briefed up to speed and get on with stuff. I'm not sure, man. But you are right, essentially. But then, if it's when Edu was here, if it's a collaborative piece, and to be fair with you, I think Edu's voice was kind of getting shut, because when you look at the Calafiori, the Ramsdale, the David Rayas, the Kai Havertz's, it doesn't look like everybody was unanimous in that, and it keeps saying Arteta push. So how, do you really need one? Really? And to be fair, what is the plan for January? It's the end of the first half, by the way. What is the plan for January? Did Arsenal sit there in the summer and say, you know what, we've got enough for now till next year? I don't know, man. I don't think I hope to be wrong, but I don't think we're that club that's going to sit there and say, you know what, extra push. Because when things were worse, obviously, you could argue the January we signed Trossard, Kivior, Jorginho, or at least two of the three. I might be making it up about signing all three of them, innit? You could argue that January we learned from, I'm sure, the previous year, because I think we must have. I might be conflating them, but it felt like we learned our lessons, because there was one January we linked with Vlahovic, we didn't grab him. We tried, and I think Spurs signed Bentancur and Kulusevski, and they beat us to top four. And if we was fighting for top four and we didn't sign anything to give us a boost, we're now fighting for a Prem, allegedly, quote unquote. Quote, are they gonna it is what it is, really? And I don't know what the January. Obviously, injuries can change things, but we're getting our players back. The only absentees is Ben White. We all know he's had an injury. You probably expect him back, hopefully early January. My estimation, which I've got no evidence and I'm just a fan, probably would be, for me, back end of Jan, early February at the very best. Obviously, we've had injuries from the start, but you're getting your players back. It's only Ben White and Tomiyasu really that are now gone. Would they say, you know what, we're cool? We need a DOF with high-level experience. Don't want to deal with another novice learning on the job. I'm with you, man. I know we tried to do this whole Mertesacker, Jack Wilshere, young players, Arteta, Edu. You could force it and say Josh Kroenke on the basis of he's taking a more hands-on approach, in my opinion, around our football club than his dad. We've done that. It's cool now. I think we need a more experienced man. I always say this, not comparing Mikel Arteta to Arsene Wenger, but I think there's a correlation with Arsenal falling off beyond the obvious. Arsenal needing to pay off the stadium, with Arsenal falling off, with Wenger just. And now, listen, I can never disrespect the big man. He did everything for us, innit? But I think there's a correlation with David Dean leaving and Wenger just being allowed to go too mad. Wenger used to, all managers are mad, innit? But there's a thin line. I think David Dean could always kind of wheel him back in when he's going too mad. I think Arteta needs that, if I'm honest with you. I don't think it's bad, but I think Arteta, for someone that ain't really got experience, well, you're getting experience and you're not a novice, but you are. I think you got too much in that regards, man. And, Kai Havertz has been decent for us. So I'm not even criticizing Kai. But evidently, you've got Kai Havertz, who the midfield experiment didn't bang. You're playing up front now. And as good as Kai is, could you have spent that 65 million better? Now, we could have signed a striker for 65 and they could have been shitter than Kai. But could a more experienced man have said, you know what, Arteta? I hear that, but it's better we spend a piece here. But also on top of that, I'll be real, for me, in my opinion, for all of Edu's praises or criticisms, when you look at the structure, Edu's probably here or was here, Arteta was there. I think in reality, we know when it comes to it, Arteta's voice is more heavy. So if you do get that more experienced man, I think they have to be allowed to say, to regulate as well, really and truly, because we've spent money greatly, but we haven't always spent it in the best possible ways, or we haven't always got things done, or we've been messing about, if I'm honest. We'll get one or two signings in Jan. Who we get depends on what happens in disasterly December. Eddie's assistant, Jason Atto, is temporarily sporting director, and I don't think the new sporting director will come until near the end of the season, because Eddie has gardening leave for 6 months. And then we're just going to have to wait and see. Sancho lacks the PMP, and unfortunately, you need that nowadays to play on the wing. Yeah, I can't disagree when you look at it, because I do think Sancho's been misprofiled, and obviously Sancho could do a lot better. Obviously for all the hype, you're not really doing nothing or haven't really done anything in the Prem. But I do think Sancho, from the moment he signed for Man United, was misprofiled. People had him as this. Obviously, you type in Jadon Sancho on YouTube, there's bare skills, nutmegs, all of that crap. He's obviously got that to his game. But Sancho's not a 1v1 demon like that. He's not one of them guys that wants to take you down the wing and twine you. He will do a one little skill, wants to play a 1-2, run off the ball. In many ways, He's not a 10, but it's like he's a 10 playing it out wide. Like he wants to be in the not the middle of the field, but you get where I'm going in it. So you are right. You are right. I like Sancho, man. I don't know Sancho, but I just wonder how much does it. I always feel with someone like Jadon Sancho, with your ability, like I think you're one of them. And I keep saying this. I said this about Nasri. I said this about Liao. It's how bad do you want it? Like I think you've got the ability. You've played for big clubs. You've played for City. You've played for United. You know, even though you ain't really had done anything of significance. You're at Chelsea. You played for Dortmund and did your thing. How bad do you want it? Like how bad do you want to realize all of your potential type of thing? I'm still down for Eze to Arsenal. Yeah, I am as well, but I just think they're gonna charge an arm and a leg, man. Like, I mean, that's the case for everybody, really. And how much is Eze gonna be? How much are they gonna ask for Eze? I'm still here, folks. How much are they gonna ask for Eze? If I'm honest, like, because realistically, it's not what a player's worth again. It's what you can hustle. And obviously, Eze's young. He's in his early he's young-ish. There's longevity in his game and all of that stuff, but. Like you're seeing 60 million. I'm on that. I'm seeing 70 and 80. I'm not on that, man. I'm not on that. I'd rather just say, you know what, the profile of a versatile guy that can play out wide, can play as a 10, play as an 8. I couldn't tell you who to get, but go and get someone. Like they play in different roles, and they're different players. But for me, you might as well just try and go Southampton and get the dibbling you. 80 million. I know it's different roles, but you might as well bid 80 million to get dialogue started for Isaac and then put the extra money on top, or that 80 million, you must be able to get Gyökeres. You must be able to get Kudus. You must be able to get Mbeumo. You must be able to do even names I haven't said. I am not going to complain if I wake up and we sign Eze. 100%. I think Arteta rates him. I just think Arsenal will see it like, where are you going to play? You know, whether you're better than Martinelli or not, I don't see you consistently playing off the left. Martin Odegaard's in the 10. You're not going to... You'll get game time as an 8, but you're not going to play as an 8 on a consistent basis. So it's like, when you break it down, obviously, competitive squad, good player, all of that stuff. But when you break it down, really and truly, we're not going to do that. Are we? People keep the talking points coming. I'm just stretching. Smash the like button and all of that good stuff. Appreciate you lot. Don't forget, Man United, Nottingham Forest later. Tomorrow, Fulham, Arsenal. And Spurs, Chelsea. 2 teams you hate. Rather Chelsea win. 100%. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Solanke to bag because I just feel it's... I feel Smith Rowe scores against Arsenal tomorrow. And Solanke scores against Chelsea. We do need an Odegaard backup since Smith Rowe left. A creative done. I'm here for that. Have you got Mbeumo on your FPL? No. I swapped out Salah for this week for Cole Palmer. Just because, obviously, the game was cancelled. Sold Mbeumo for Matoma. I have Visa, though. Let me actually see what's going on in the world of football away from what we're watching, people, because I don't know. Aston Villa are currently a goal up against Southampton. Ooh, what a game it's been between Brentford and Newcastle. It's 2-2 over there. Obviously, it's 1-1 at the moment. Later today, it's Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. Tomorrow, you have Fulham, Arsenal, Ipswich, Bournemouth, Leicester City against Brighton. You know what? I know the talking points will be about Fulham and Arsenal, Spurs and Chelsea. And I'm not saying them games won't be entertaining. But I actually think Leicester Brighton might have the most goals. But then saying that, probably of this game week, which extends into Monday because you got West Ham Wolves. West Ham Wolves is probably the most important game, you know, really and truly. It's another El Sakiko, you know. Lukategui survived the one against United, where obviously Ten Hag met his demise. There's pressure on Gary O'Neill. It feels based on the media, there's a lot more pressure on West Ham's Lukategui. We'll have to see, man. It's going to be an interesting one. 113 likes. God bless all of you lot, man. Thank you. We hit our target, man. Appreciate that, man. DG, plan A is at plan B, John Duran. I wouldn't be too upset if Arsenal made that happen. Yeah, I wouldn't either, man. I wouldn't. Who would I rather? I kind of rather Isaac for a right now thing. And obviously, the last 2 games we've seen, he's bagging. You lot know I'm a big fan of his. The number 14 shirt is free. Sociedad links, yes, he's Swedish, but Moreno, Odegaard, it's not really nothing to do with Sociedad, but You could throw Tierney for no reason in there, but Mikel Arteta's from that region of Spain. We're linked with Sociedad's director Olabi, which apparently that could help us get Isaac. Don't know how far that goes, but there's that. So I guess for right now, I just think, you know what, you got Saka doing madness, Isaac doing madness, like we're ready. But John Duran's obviously younger. There's more scope to him. I like him. He's got that positive chip on his shoulder. But then which one would you say is more attainable? Because it's just like what we're talking with Eze. The landscape has kind of changed in football now. You can't really bully clubs. If you want to buy players, it's top money. Ben White, 1 season in the Premier League, Brighton said 50 million. Cucurella cost good money. Caicedo cost good money. Havertz, well, rightly or wrongly, 65 million. Declan Rice, 100 million. Harry Maguire, 80 million. Like, you don't really see, obviously there's deals, but you see deals. If you want to buy Isaac, Kudus, Eze, you know, insert the best of the rest away from the original top 6 and Spurs, top 5 and Spurs, let's call it that. It's big money, isn't it? So which one's more attainable? Because Newcastle aren't going to let Isaac go lightly. He's got 4 years left on his deal. I think what could tip the balance is, and again, I'm really commenting on things I don't know, but from what you read, you hear FFP and PSR and all of these things. I personally feel Newcastle might have to sacrifice Isaac or Gomares to give themselves more wiggle room to improve the squad and do their thing in that regards. Aston Villa, Duran's just signed a new deal. But then you reckon, like, Duran, like, are you first choice? Yeah, you can play 2 strikers, you're getting football, but it's clearly it's clearly Ollie Watkins' first choice, isn't it? So you could sell that to him. But then I look at Duran. I'm not saying Duran is better or worse than Kai Havertz, but then I'm just questioning the own logic. I said if we was to sign Duran, by that same logic, I'm saying you're not going to play ahead of Ollie Watkins. Are you looking at it and saying, right, like, I'm going to play ahead of Havertz? I don't know. I think Isaac, based on the money, obviously money don't mean everything, and I don't think Kai necessarily loses his spot, but you get it. So, yeah, man. DG, what you telling me? We, the Arsenal, can't afford any of them. We definitely can put up the cash. We didn't get Caicedo, but we put up the cash. We tried to get Vlahovic, which we didn't get him, but we was allegedly prepared to do that. Caicedo, Mudryk, rightly or wrongly. Declan Rice cost big money, rightly or wrongly. Kai Havertz cost big money. But we don't do that. We don't typically do the Chelsea thing where you're buying Enzo Fernandez for mad peas. You're buying Caicedo for mad peas, like consistently. Like United the same. We don't do that. I think we could get him, but you need a lot of dominoes to fall. You would need, as I said, probably Newcastle saying, you know what, we're going to sell him. We need to balance the books kind of thing. Isaac would, I don't want to say burn bridges, but he'd have to burn some bridges. And Arsenal would be able to have to front up the cash. And then you're relying on Newcastle to want to work with us. And money talks in it. But what we can't sit here and do is, I won't say Newcastle are rivals, but it does feel like Arsenal and Newcastle off the field, they're not seeing eye to eye. You're watching UFC tonight. Who's fighting? I can attempt to, but I mean, is it on at a decent time? I always try, fall asleep, watch the highlights, man. I love Paqueta, experienced quality midfielder. He wouldn't be my first. I must admit, I've kind of gone off the Paqueta hype, you know. Like, I rate him. I'm with you. I would love him. I think that left 8 would be you. But I don't know, man. I think Bruno, we should have got, well, to be fair, you could have got Paqueta when he was playing in France, even in Milan, really. I think I want someone like Bruno Gomares, man. Like, you can do the 6 stuff. You can do the 8 stuff. That's the kind of profile I think we're missing. Newcastle also high-key hates us. They do, but reality is money talks, innit? Like, money talks. And these men are fundamentally, man, them are businessmen. Like, obviously, Chelsea and Arsenal are rivals. I don't think there's been tensions there, but they've been dealing with each other. Everyone's kind of dealing with each other. You're not going to, I don't think you've seen Spurs and Chelsea deal. You're definitely not going to see Arsenal and Spurs deal with each other. But everyone's on selling people. Like, we haven't really done it, but United and Arsenal for Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang. You know, Chelsea bought Cole Palmer of City. City aren't going to sell us players now, and people can laugh about Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. But you had that. So how far does it go, man? Do you think Kevin De Bruyne plays full 90? Probably not. You know, they've been playing a bit of a coy game with his fitness. Fraudulent slip on Eze to Chelsea. DG, careful, bro. Apologies. West Ham might not want to face the wrath of their fans selling to us again. I hear that, but how far does that go? It's a bit like when Arsenal were doing the protests. Like, how far does that go? Because you can scream, you can shout, you can shake it all about, you can protest before games, you can put up as many signs as you want. Nothing's going to change. They're going to do what they want. And to be fair, in England, they don't seem to listen to fans like that. Again, I'm commenting on things I don't know, but it feels like when German fans scream and shout, their clubs take it seriously. It just feels like in Germany, like the German league, the German outlook on ticket prices, how the clubs deal with the fans. It feel obviously all fans of all countries, they're all guinea pigs, right? But it feels like they listen to them. In England, I don't think the second half soon begin. I don't think you got that. I don't think any of these clubs care about their fans like that. They care about their bank balance. They care about their wallet. I don't think they care about the fans. Football don't care about us. Think about if you, well, to be fair, I live in England and I'm jealous of you lot abroad, yeah. But like, think about if you want to watch Premier League or all of your football teams. So like, my team's in the Champions League, in the FA Cup, the League Cup, all of that jazz, right? You got to get Amazon Prime now. Even if you don't want to buy anything on Amazon, just to watch 1-2 games. That's like 90 quid a year. Sky Sports is an arm and a leg. TNT Sports is an arm and a leg. When the FA Cup comes about and sometimes the World Cup and the Euros, you need BBC or ITV. That comes with other stuff. Still can't watch 3 p.m. kickoffs. If you've got all of that and you're a match-going fan, you season tickets and all of these kind of things, new shirts. This is assuming like I ain't got a family in it. Like I ain't got wife and kids. But if you did, you're buying X amount now, and it's just going up and up and up like society, man. They don't care, bro. They don't care about us. And again, you still can't watch 3 p.m. kickoffs. I'm watching this on the stream. I would love there to be a subscription service where you could kind of pick and choose, like to make it simpler for you lot. Like I said, Arsenal at this moment in time, obviously we're in the Prem, we're in the Champs, we're in the League Cup, there's the FA Cup, right? I wish there was a subscription where like you just buy it. Like I don't know how to explain it, but there's a subscription service. I'm watching all of Arsenal's games. Like there's just one subscription. I'm watching all of Arsenal's games. I might be able to add to it and all of these sort of things. And I'm jealous of you lot abroad, man. Because it's gonna sound bad, but like a few years ago, obviously, when I used to work a 9 to 5, I used to work in production in it. So naturally, you're watching football and stuff to a degree, right? They used to have is it NBC in America? It's not NBA, but it's like NBC or something like that. They had the gold pass, like they used to sign into a VPN, obviously look like in America and run that. And one day I was just on my work laptop, and I don't know why, but I was just going into folders in the servers, and there was one that had a password, and I just typed in the company's name, like just as a chance, is this the password? And it was the password. Like, then I got that, and I was using. I'm not gonna lie, even when I was streaming for time, like some of you lot remember, there was a time where I did not care if it was 3 p.m. kickoffs. I was watching it, so I'm jealous of that. And even when I used to go on holiday, like to Jamaica, and obviously America and Jamaica and all of that, you're on the same kind of time, innit? It's a nice feeling to wake up on the weekend. Like, obviously, when you're over there, you're waking up at you're watching football like 8-9 in the morning. It is quite jealous of you lot with that. And after there's been 4 corners in the game, 2 for either side, I'm quite, it annoys me when people draw out you fans that live in other countries, because you have to wake up at dumb times. Some of you are waking up at midnight. Some of you are up until 4 in the morning. You still got to get your kids ready. You still got a poor corner from Kevin De Bruyne. Still got to get your kids ready. Still got to go to work, doing madness. Let me just check the weather for you. Oh, mate, big up Barbados. But leave us alone, man. The weather is... Do you know what? Stringer Bell, I blame you, because the weather in England's terrible anyways. But since the last few days, you've been dissing it, progressively, it's been getting worse. Like, I woke up this morning at 5:45, 15 minutes earlier than I normally wake up. Well, to be fair, I wake up at 5 a.m. sometimes, but the weather woke me up. I'm hearing bare rain. I'm looking outside. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, look at me. I got 29 degrees. Oh, so just leave me alone, man. Just have a peanut colada for me or something, man. Prick. Starting off the day with some football is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and to be fair with you, I hate the preseason, man, because that's where I feel like a foreign fan, with the greatest of respect to you lot, because there's been some games you're watching it at dumb o'clock, man, and the same will probably happen next summer, because I don't know where Arsenal are going, but man, I mean, should Arsenal switch it up and go to another country? It feels like we've been doing the America thing for a few years now. But you'd imagine, obviously, we're owned by Americans. It makes sense to go over there, innit? Not just us, everyone. Like, you got effing Bournemouth in America. Like, that's crazy. Matthias Nunes. Being on the East Coast is great. First kickoff at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Midweek games usually at 3 p.m. when I get off work. Can't complain. Broski, it's 3 a.m. here in Australia. Still got work in the morning, but I still love to be here with DJ and the gang. Oliver, big up yourself. A massive respect, man. You see what I'm saying? 3 a.m. Australia is a madness. Unpopular opinion. I think I'm gonna go Sydney one day. I'm don't want to sound stereotypical, but when people say Australia, I just think, right, you know what? There's bears and poisonous snakes. But some of my friends over the summer actually went to Australia in Sydney, and I was like, oh, like it's looking all right. The journey is a madness, like to get there. But yeah, I'd love Jokeres, man. See, DG really global. I wish so. I Montel, big up my guy, part of the furniture here. Perpetual growth is the current societal myth, and football is a victim. Yeah, you put that real eloquently, man. Like, let's use some simpler words, though. You did a madness, but you're right. Football mirrors society, bro. And unfortunately, obviously, everything's got a domino effect in it. Like, to a degree, rising costs worldwide naturally gets passed on to the consumer, right? Like, naturally, if you whoever you lot are that rent, they're going to up. You know, if your landlord's struggling, not struggling, but in issues, you're gonna have to pay more. It costs to import and do all of those things. Groceries are gonna cost more. And then you know, so that's what's happening in life, like with football. But also you gotta talk like greed, bro. These lot are making too much money to not be greedy. And where you look at football in itself is illogical. We all love it. There's no reason for us to, like, when you deep it away from our love of this game, it's already illogical. How many of us, even when our teams are stinking up the place, we sit here like, oh, I'm never gonna watch it again. I hate you lot. Score a goal, we love you lot. Some of you will leave your boyfriends, your girlfriends, quit jobs, you know, go through from a little boy to a grown man, puberty, hair on balls, all of that stuff, lose your virginity, get several jobs, get married, your football team. Unless you're a madman that, you know, a couple Arsenal fans went and supported City, you're never going to change your team. This is your thing. And you're always going to watch it. Like, you're always going to go and watch your team. If you can't watch it, you watch the highlights. You know, football can ruin your week. It can ruin your day. It can ruin your life. It can do all of that sort of stuff. Think about it, and I hate to refer to it as a business, but then when you've got people like myself and you lot locked in like that, you can do whatever you want. You can rate to a degree. Like, ticket prices can do whatever they want. And I'm genuinely scared about football. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm scared for the globalization of football, purely because, like, I think football should be, you know, I like preseason, and it's a chance for foreign fans. If you're going to America, Australia, whatever, you're seeing the players in your own little ways. And, you know, certain things that fans that don't live in England can't really do in it. But they're not doing that because they like it. They want to bring it to you lot. It's a money thing. We're going to see, like, 20 years, North London Derby, going to kick off in Saudi Arabia. Mad things are going on, man. Mad things are going on. And then I don't want to get all political, but you've got to be honest. Beyond the obvious of certain clubs with their charges, let's be honest, you've got, not that you have too many English owners, but it's like you've got English owners there, and let's be honest, it's a bit like America versus the Middle East. Football feels like a bit of a proxy for that, like, if I'm honest with you. But we've gone left, man. Big up you lot. This is why I like being here. We've gone left. I didn't think you lot were going to support the stream in the way you did, people. So yeah, big up yourselves. Where they get, keep them coming. Pause. Where the game's concerned, it's still 1-1. Second half, I must admit, it's what you would expect normally from City, without talking about their form and whatnot. There, you know, Palace got everyone in their box essentially. Just as I said, that cursor, the commentator Rico Lewis has had his pocket picked. So you lot can never convince me he's good. What do I know? This is a good bit of play. Shut me up. That's a good ball. I'm sorry, sir. Eze. Yeah, man. Eze's having a stinker, you know. I'll be real. Eze's having a stinker. If you had to choose one, Kudus or Bruno, you can't do that. Two very different players. Bruno. I want Kudus more. I think he's a baller. Not that Bruno isn't, but I think, you know, pro Declan Rice, Bruno, Gomares, Odegaard, Moreno, part of the squad. Maybe party for another year or something. Safe. Ethan here and there about safe. I finally get to stop waffling about midfield. So yeah, man, Gordon or Isaac, two different kind of play. Oh, I'll say Isaac, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, man. Anthony Gordon on that left-hand side, Saka on the right. It's kind of wavy. Duran won't leave to be on the bench again. It's true, but like, naturally, if you're gonna step up to a club, yeah, like, even if you went Man United, like, you're gonna probably start, but you've got Højlund, Josh Rosierski. He's not really a striker like that, but yeah, so you have to be prepared to. It's not a everyday thing. And who knows? Aston Villa might sell Ollie Watkins, but I do think you're right. I had Visa, then Salah turned up, so I swatted that. Captain Salah for last week and this week as well. Dang. Isaac is so cold, but I don't know, man. That injury history plus Arsenal luck sounds like asking for a problem. Dapo, and that's, I must admit, I'm with you with that. Mainly what you said there about the Arsenal tax with the injuries. Like, he'd probably only have a great partnership with Tomiyasu. The problem is, Anthony, the problem is we wouldn't see them. Eze is a baller, but the guy's 27 in the summer. Do you really want to drop the bag on a guy at that age who looks like he still has some learning to do? At what point do we say this is who he is? To be fair, you are right in terms of the learning and the bag and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm not saying you are necessarily doing this. The man's 27, bro. Like, he's 27. I hear it, but he's 27. Like, he's not 37. He's 27. There's many years in the tank there. Many a year in the tank. All the United fans in the cheap seats hit the like. Bro, I swear I've been watching you like 10 years and you're the same age. I said, what good looks? Benjamin Button, babyface killer, or yeah. Big up you for the support, man. Didn't Mikel say he let Vieira go to give Ethan minutes? Yeah, but I think it's been conflated. I think Matthias Nunes could have scored. I think Fabio needed to leave, and there was probably the option of him going on loan. I personally think Fabio pushed it. I think Arteta would have been cool for you to be on the bench. Naturally, though, same goes for Smith Rowe. I think Smith Rowe said, I want to cut. Naturally, I think they wanted to bring some bodies in, but naturally, they're looking at it and saying, right, you know what, Ethan, we got to take time with him, but you can leave. Ethan can do the little things you're doing, Fabio Vieira. Smith Rowe, he can do that to a degree. So, yeah, it probably did. I prefer Spurs win. Chelsea is equal on points with us. Shem, come on. It's too early to be even taking stock in that. Don't worry, we'll smack Chelsea at the Emirates. Not that I'm fond of Chelsea, but boy, I wish Spurs could do that, lose every game, really and truly. I'll be real. Sarr surely offside. No, he's not. I saw smelly, man. I'd rather Tottenham win, Chelsea getting too brave. Boy, you lot must have been them special Arsenal fans that were cheering on Spurs against City. I wish I was like you lot, dead that. We'd all love that. What Arsenal needs right now is for Martinelli to lift his head. Boy, wish asking for too much. If Duran doesn't consistently start, I don't think he'll want to stay at Villa. But then he shagged himself. You signed a new deal. Obviously, you can scream and shout and shake it all about and say you want to leave, and I have to deal with that. But, bro, they costing top money. And, you know, obviously, Duran's obviously getting paid more and whatnot. I think Villa have played a blinder. Now, obviously, their sporting director could have been gassing it up, but did he not say in the summer 30, 40 clubs inquired about Duran? So if you've been able to look after your asset, you're laughing really and truly. But you do feel something's got to give. That's our ball. Palace. Yes! Oi, set pieces. As an Arsenal fan, I love it. Their centre half has scored set pieces. Careful, though. You shouldn't want to score set pieces. Oi, wavy celebrations. Yeah. Oi, set piece FC from Palace to Arsenal. Ian Wright has to be somewhere smiling. What a cross. Was that Will Hughes? What a header. Horrible marking. Set piece FC. Corner boys. The link up is crazy. I should drop merchandise. Remember he was calling us the corner boys. Because they're going to bite the flow. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Careful, Crystal Palace. They're going to call you Stoke City. And what I would like to know is, regardless of how this game pans out, go and ask these Crystal Palace fans, the coaching staff, the management, the players, did they give a flying, pardon my language, fuck that they scored from a corner? Careful, though. They'll say you're not playing football. And flipping out, bloody Bruno Bernardo Silva will say the same. Let's go, boys. City. We're not out the woods yet, mate. Why do you think Bayern chose Elise over Eze? I think he's better than him, if I'm honest. And he's more of a winger, isn't it? I'm not optimistic to sign players in Jan. However, Edu and Arteta didn't sound happy how the summer window ended. Maybe there's a way to strengthen the squad in Jan. I hope so. Arteta loves his tall, athletic players, so I see why he goes for Havertz, Rice, Moreno, Kiwi, or Calafiori. True. But if you're going to do that, can we get ballers, though? I know it's not the same, but like Henry, Patrick Vieira, I know I'm being very harsh. Them man were athletic, but they could play ball. I'm not saying this man couldn't play ball. I do like the more grit, the determination. A lot of things that were definitely during the Emirates era that we were allergic to as Arsenal fans, or we would never have thought happen. I do love it, but at the same time, it's all fun and games calling us an NBA team. The ball's got to be played on the floor. City. DG, what's harder, 9 to 5 or streaming? I mean, who am I, man? I've only got 60 odd thousand subscribers, which I appreciate that. Who am I to really talk? 9 to 5, man, 100%, bro. For me, I think there's 9 to 5, man. Do you know how much people are in 9 to 5s they fucking hate? Like, and they've been there for years, rightly or wrongly, but you got kids to feed and all of these kind of things. I do think there's a lack of respect for content creators, if I'm honest. You know, people, and I'm not like I said, 9 to 5 is harder, but I think people always say, oh, anyone could do it. If anyone could do it, go do it. If anyone could do it, go. Anyone can do it, but if anyone could do it, go and do it. It's not. You see the hours, and for me, I think people don't see the other aspects. You got to be an effing graphic designer. You've got to be so many things. You know, the dynamics of YouTube changes as well every year, and you know, obviously, the main thing is the fight for consistency, man. Like, obviously, with a paycheck, you know what you're getting. YouTube, some months, let's go out and eat. Let's buy all the other designers. Some, I need to get a flipping bug and ask you lot for change. That's why you need to hit the like button. But yeah, man, big up everyone just getting paid, man. Like, big up everyone handling their business. Really, being a relegation team fan is low key more exciting than being a Spurs fan. It's the same every season. Almost feel sorry for them noisy neighbors. Bro, do you remember that player Deluded from Madrid? He was good, man. He retired early through heart condition. Yeah, he was. Long hair boy. Wind is causing devastating havoc in South London. I saw 2 wheelie bins knocked over. I think everyone's seen that. I'm not going to lie. Bobby Perez, I love you. But every time I see Jeremy Doku, you might be one of them barbershop knowledge dogs. How the hell can you say Doku is better than Saka? Big Perez. And he knew he had to say sorry because, you know, when it comes to Arsenal, you say the wrong thing, they're not going to bring you again on any of the merchandise. He knew he had to say sorry. And obviously, Perez knows more about football than me, but this is why I don't listen. This is why I always say I don't tell you what to think, just think, because Perez played for top clubs, played for your country, done crazy things, played at the game at the highest level, and you're coming out with idiotic statements like that. We hear like Evra, Patrick, Rio Ferdinand, probably the worst in terms of knowledge. Sometimes I hear Rio Ferdinand talk, and I'm like, bro, you're probably one of the centre halves. Like when you talk about the GOATs, I think Rio Ferdinand has all the capabilities to really thrive the most in the present day. And obviously, you know, Man United, all the stuff you did, the comments you come out with, bro, you wouldn't think that you was a professional footballer like that with these stupid comments. Now, I know a bit of it is mind games, especially with social media and whatnot. Watching City is like seeing the guy who was the man in school on the side of the road nodding off. This is just sad. Sad, but not for us. DG, I heard you say you were meeting Zola. What happened when you met Mr. Right? Oh, wait, at the track, cut the track. Oh, Palace could have been in there again. Oh, Mateta, I think there's a clash with Ortega. Is he okay? Palace, City are scumbags if they don't put the ball out there, you know, because that looks like a head injury. I mean, the ref has to take charge of that situation. I guess City are not wrong, but yeah. City, you lot are horrible, you know. Horrible. I hear it. But yeah, what did you say when I met Ian Wright? Big up my work, because I wouldn't have met Ian Wright for him. I wasn't that starstruck with Ian Wright, man. Like, I wasn't starstruck when I met Ian Wright. I was filled with admiration. Don't get it twisted. I'm like, bro, your Uncle Ian, very nice guy, man. Very positive, I would say. That'd be the best way. Very full of life. I guess when you're Ian Wright, you're getting the money, you're doing what you've done in the game, you would be. But just very full of life, very jubbly and bubbly and a lot of humility, man. Like, it sounds cliche, and I know this for a fact. David Beckham's the same. Like, obviously, it doesn't. I'm probably like, how can I explain it? That's probably why I struggle in industry events, yeah, because I don't care if you're, I don't know, man. I don't care if you're the president or you're the king or you're a cleaner. Like, everybody gets the same amount of respect and disrespect if you take it there, innit? But when you look at people, and nobody, for what it's worth, nobody's got the, how do I make it make sense? Nobody's got the right, no matter what you've achieved, no matter how much money is in your bank account or whatever, yeah, nobody has no one has the authority to be arrogant in it. No one has like, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. We're all going to die and dead in the ground, in it. You know, we all have to go 6 foot and return one day, in it. But I just find the people that in theory you might think would be the most arrogant, like I said, Ian Wright, Zola, like them guys there, like the people that David Beckham got the reasons to be arrogant. They're not that, bro. They will say hi to everyone, remember everyone's name. So yeah, big up Ian Wright on that, and David Beckham. Oh, don't get twisted. Some people are arrogant, and that's what I would say in this space. The people that should, again, the people that should be arrogant. No one should be, but in this YouTube space, for me, anyways, in the people I've met, the people that have every reason to be arrogant, I guess, are not arrogant. Like, that's why I've got a lot of respect for expressions, because you see some people that try to style you, act like an idiot. Like, expressions is proper cool, man. Big up him and rants. Like in theory, he's killing it. He's got every reason to be a prick, but he's not, because that's testament to his family, to how he's grown, and how he is as a person. DG man got 3 interviews for veterinary medicine. Big up you, wishing you the best, man. Bring it home, mate. Bring it home. Make sure you bring it home. And if you don't, it's their loss. We keep going. That's what you love to hear, man. Big up you, because you done that just before Christmas. Good Christmas present. Good way to end the year, man. Wishing positive stuff for not just you, but everybody, man. That's what you want to hear, man. Stuff like that gives me goosebumps, because it makes me think, raw, like, man can get 70k subs. If man like that can make it happen, I could. Rio said Doku over Saka too. It's a mind games thing. At what? There might be one day Doku hits it off. For what it's worth, I think Doku's a baller, but he ain't got this upstairs. What's he better at? Dancing for no reason, talking in interviews, saying, "Oh, I like to embarrass defenders." What defender you seen Doku embarrass? That's of a decent age and not a 35-year-old pensioner. Allow it, man. Allow it, man. Now I've hit the like. Big up yourself. You got to have crazy work ethic to be a content creator. Most of you are working 9 to 5 and working on content for hours with no reward in the beginning. That's also true. I think they're both equally as hard, man. Like, if I'm honest, it's still essentially a 9 to 5. You could argue with streaming is like, it's a lot more hours, but then 9 to 5 is difficult. Like, everything's difficult. Like you said, there's that. Sometimes you work mad hard and there's nothing, like nothing's changing. But I remember some of my 9 to 5s, and that's why I say it's harder than streaming. Like, not to, like, I'm no one, but I'd like to think I'm quite good at this. So it's quite simple, but at the beginning, it's not easy. Like you said, you got to balance 2 things. And it's like, when somebody first asked me that, because that wasn't the first time, I thought about not the jobs that I was good at, the jobs I hated, like jobs I actually hated. We've all, if you're through that now, if you're going through that now, I hope you get over it. But there's nothing worse than hating being somewhere, specifically in a working environment. Like, and knowing you have to be there, because obviously you need to pay bills, you need to do what you're doing. There's nothing worse than being there every moment, hating it, going home, that sigh of relief when you leave the building and you're going home, and then you realize you got to do it all again tomorrow. Like, it's jarring, bro. It's jarring. I've definitely had some roles I've hated in this life, man. And I've had roles I've liked, but I've hated the people, like. So yeah, it is what it is. DG, tell me 3 football legends you would have a chat and talk about football. It's still 2-1 to Crystal Palace. I'll be amazed. I'll genuinely be amazed if a 1-goal advantage does it for Palace. But we hope, we pray. 3 footballing legends. Good question, man. I can answer one. Arsene Wenger. And it's not just football, man. I would, like, honestly, man, I'd get Wenger to find, like, pause on all of this. I'd get him some wine. I'd beg him to, yeah, let's drink some Hennessy and whatnot together. Yeah, let's do this. But I would talk about football with him. I'll talk about life, because, like, I just think Wenger is just, like, there's just so much to admire about Arsene Wenger as a man. So I'd say Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, 100%. Because Rico Lewis. Oh, it's a good finish from the Love Island Don. Blink, can you miss it? 4-goal thriller is 2-2. Come on, Palace, man. I mean, both teams, for the goals conceded, for Palace especially, like, it's been poor, man. Both, it's been poor. Rico Lewis has scored. Boy, yeah, Palace are going to go win. Palace are going to go lose, sorry. I mean, Palace caught cold there, man. Nobody following the Saar. I won't quite say Will Hughes, but look at the 3 inside there. No one's aware. And this is why I'm a fan of Rico Lewis. Off the balls, everything. I mean, I hate the fact Bernardo Silva helped there, but yeah. 3, I would say. Let me say 1 manager, in it, because it gets a bit long. Arsene Wenger, Ronaldinho. No. Arsene Wenger, Ronaldinho, Thierry Henry. And then if I can say managers, Jose, Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola, yeah, I'd say them. Say them, man. Unfortunately, it is 2-2. Nah, man, it's looking like City are gonna do that. What's your worst job? Working in Harvey Nicks, I'd say. Working in Harvey Nicks, man. Overworked, underpaid. That's never a good combination. And like, there's a lot of divas in like anything in like retail. I think everybody should work in retail at some point in it because it teaches you stuff. Like it tests you. If not, I mean, would you count working in a restaurant as retail? If you do, then that as well. I think everyone needs to go through that in life because you meet some good people, but you meet a lot of pricks. Like you meet, I think everyone needs to have experiences with pricks. So yeah, working in Harvey Nicks, man. To be fair, my last role, and it's a bit of a weird one because it wasn't, but it felt like everything was a mind games, man. Like for instance, I worked in production, so it's like if you imagine this, we're in a flat, there's this room, there's that room, yeah, and like obviously the company I used to work for used to work with True Geordie's show. So you've got like all them YouTube bearing in mind, as somebody said, I'm balancing both at this moment, innit? You've got all them YouTube dons doing their Sky Sports Soccer Saturday thing. Like it's right there. I'm watching it and I'm in the next room. Like it just everything was a mind games. That everything was a mind games. Everything was a mind games. Rico Lewis has gone into the book. This Silvino brother ain't it. C Tech Mahrez, they need to sell him and Grealish. Would you sell Havertz if someone offered 60 million in the summer? Not about striker. I know DG knows he's got a huge fan base in Nigeria. Big up the Nigerians. I can't say I know that, but big up you lot from all over the world. It's lovely to know, man. If I do have that, you have a better weekend, Francis. Palace are going to end up losing this. Yeah, we've seen the stars, man. What are we saying? A brace for Haaland? Bro, for real, I was working from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. in hella cold temperatures, cutting fruit and vegetables and packing salads and ish. Horrible job. Exactly. And then, you know what? Working in Sainsbury's is one of my favorite roles, man, just because they used to love me in the store I worked in, to be fair. Like, I only had one, I've said this before, I only had one terrible time, and that was, I don't know, man. I'll be honest. I think this lady, if I can speak properly, I think she must have been going through a divorce, or she was having men problems, or no one was supplying the plumbing work for her. She was just vexed. She asked me, is it agave honey? There's honey that costs a lot of money, like 30 quid in it. She's like, oh, where's the honey? I showed her the section. She was like, no, where's this agave honey? And obviously I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what, literally just said to her, I don't know what that is, but if you give me 2 seconds, I'll find out, I'll get someone. She just started effing and blinding and moving mad. And like, I'm probably making it going red and making a scene. I'm just looking at her like, yeah, this is one of those moments God is teaching me in it. Because I just wanted to say, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me like that. And I was just looking at her like, if you was a boy, I'll knock you out, you know. Like, I don't like rudeness. Eze's coming off. Yeah, man, you can't. I love Eze, but you can't convince me he's worth a lot of money. No one brings you in this life. I have to bust myself. Matisse gone Hollywood. He deserves it, man. Big up Matisse. Humble guy as well. Anything is possible, man. Walker leave the football before the football leaves you. Boy, it's a true thing, isn't it? Really. What's going on with the stream? Come on. Okay, we're back. You've been so good. You've been one of the best behaved streams I've ever watched the game on, man. We're so close to the end of it. Stop showing off, man. If Saka was a United player, they talk about Ballon d'Or. 3-2 in the Brentford game. In fact, let's quickly look at, well, I'll just read them out, the other games. To be fair, you know, it's been an entertaining stream, mainly because of you lot, the talking points and everything. So big up you lot, and those of you who smashed the like button, all of that. Don't forget we're watching Man United Forest, where hope Forest win. But in terms of goals, we've been entertained, man. Like Brentford, yeah, like someone said, Brentford 3, Newcastle 2. Obviously, it's 2-2 at this moment in time, but I reckon that changes. Villa's only had the one goal. Southampton's only had the one goal. Villa are beating Southampton a goal to nil. It's not looking good for Southampton, is it? Nunes, Kevin De Bruyne, is he going to lace that? Oh, gosh. I mean, did it take a deflection? It must have. It must have. There's no way Kevin De Bruyne is going to do that. Yeah, it did take a deflection. Fair play. If you're on Twitch, you know what to do. Subscribe with Amazon Prime. God bless you all. DG, before your talks were interview, what other traditional media appearances have you done and where can we watch them? Where can you watch them? I normally cut up a lot of clips. I ain't done many, you know, if I'm honest. Good question. I wouldn't include it, but I've been cited twice, like big up the Athletic, because you know when Sam Greenwood signed for Leeds, I happened to just you just go through my YouTube playlist if you want to see the videos I did with youth players back in the days, which is probably one of my best moments on YouTube. I really like doing that stuff, but there's been a lot of obstacles put in the way in that regards, man. But through doing the Sam Greenwood one, like obviously when he left Arsenal to go to Leeds and they were talking about it, it was cited. So that been cited like twice in that. So that's the Athletic. The BBC when the Super League thing happened, Ball Street, UEFA, like when we was in the Europa League, I did a piece with UEFA, like they went all around my area and we went all around the Emirates, and it was quite sick actually. It was they almost called it. It was quite weird because obviously there's a cafe near the Emirates in it, and they're recording a scene where like you go imagine like there's bare cameras and that people are coming in there and taking pictures like they think I play for Arsenal. I can't lie, like they were gassing me. I'm so sorry to the man and the woman, like the couple. They were like, "Oh, do you play for Arsenal?" Because people kept asking it to me, and I kept saying no. But I thought, you know, let me be an idiot for once. They say, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, do you play for Arsenal?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "What's your name?" I told them a fake name. They didn't type it in, thank the Lord. I was like, "Yeah, I've just signed for us. I'm going to be in the under-21s. Hopefully, if I work very hard, the gaffer gives me a chance." I started gapping so much. I started believing it. But yeah, you wait for BBC, Arsenal. Like you'd have to go on. Again, it's cut up on my segment from it. It's cut up on my channel. So yeah, Arsenal, you wait for BBC, Talksport, obviously cited in the Athletic. I think that's it. You know. Yeah, man, that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I had a small sentiment on the United stand the other day, like their preview show for the Arsenal game. But yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's it. I think a 9 to 5 is harder. However, 9 to 5 definitely has more of a payoff. You work, you're guaranteed a salary, but with content, you put in a lot more effort and never get any recognition. There you have it. When are they going to apologize to Paul Bukayo? At this point, forget them. They're going to talk, man. And that's why I like Saka celebration. Just let them talk, man. Because at the end of the day, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, man. Like at this point, if you can have criticisms about Saka, you could have constructive criticism about Bukayo Saka. We always want Spurs to lose. But at this point, people just lying, man. People lying. Max Dolman's a quality player, but I'm not saying you, but the man's 14. That's one thing I hate about the modern day. Like, man are acting like geniuses about a 14-year-old. And half of these guys that waffle, they ain't watched him. They ain't watched half of these guys. They ain't watched 90-minute games. And you can tell they're chatting nonsense. Eddie and Nketiah's coming on. Your defense is in trouble. Sar's coming off. I mean, City's defense ain't in trouble. The Eddie and Nketiah fall off is crazy. It's the harsh reality of being a footballer, bro. At the end of the day, like, I'm not watching Palace religiously, but the manager doesn't think you're more vital than other guys. You're not scoring, you're not assisting, you're not doing much. DG doing up player career mode with the CAF interview. We don't need validation for Saka. We know how good it is. Do it, Eddie. This is your moment. It'd be lovely. It'd be lovely to see Eddie score. At this time, what would believe to be your achievements, accomplishments, and why? Accomplishments. I ain't got none. I would say I get up every day and try to fight to change things in it. Like I just try to be consistent. I always think to myself, no matter how down I get or whatever, I always think like if you don't not necessarily not take a day off, but if you don't miss a day, you gotta be lucky in it. Like the only way, like I just always think, what if this is the day life changes in it? Like ain't there saying like it takes 10 years to be an overnight success? So I don't think I've accomplished anything. I'm definitely appreciative of, you know, the platform we've got, talking with you lot as well. I guess sometimes, like my mom says that to me all the time. To be fair, my friends like, you actually need to pat yourself on the back a bit because you've done all right, and it's just me, man. Like, I never hate on anyone, but for me, I respect a lot of these content creators and just people in general. Obviously, if you get help or you got cards to play in it, but people who got it out the mud in it, a lot of people are, pardon my language, sucking dick A lot of people got uncles and cousins. A lot of people are cheating the game. Like, so yeah, man. I don't think I've accomplished anything yet, man. I was looking for the BBC feature on your channel. I had to go through years of uploads and couldn't find it. I can give me a sec. It wouldn't. That won't be. That's like a video piece. I'll get it for you. Give me a sec. Well, more than a sec. You get the point, though. Because what you lot don't see is reaching out to people and whatever and whatnot. So yeah, I do send a lot of emails. A lot of it get blank there, but this is the nature of the game, man. Where have I got it? Going on a side quest now. Oh, how am I gonna find it if I'm signed into the wrong email? Where would it be? Where would it be? A defo. I've done it. Definitely need to find that. There it is. Oh, I've been on the Sun as well, bro. I've done a bit in it, really. So this is why I like to keep a documentation, bro. I've actually done all right. I don't know if it's gonna let me copy and paste all of this, but I might as well. If you bother to care, there you go, man. Like, that's everything. Oh, is it gonna copy all the links? Well, I did a madness. Let me know if it's gonna copy the links. Talksport was massive for you to get up. Big up to you, DG Harry. Appreciate that. And I must admit, even Talksport, like, my friends and family and you lot made, not that you made a big deal, because that sounds like it's something bad, but I was like, it's from you lot. I was like, raw, like, okay, we're doing all right. Like, to listen, big up Talksport, but it's just, for me, it's like, maybe it's a bit toxic, but it's like if I went on a massive platform today, like, obviously pat on the back, but it's what go on for tomorrow. Then, like, it's like a football manager, in it. Like, it's like Arsenal beating Man United, and you know the fans are chatting shit to United fans and doing all of that. Arteta immediately, you got to focus on Fulham. Or it's like probably when Pep Guardiola, what would have been the last game to win that treble? It'd have been the Champions League final, innit? Or would it have been the FA Cup? But either way, whatever that last final is to complete the treble, obviously everyone's excited. The fans, the coaching staff, the players, yada 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 yada. He's probably thinking, yo, how'd I do this again? I disagree. You've accomplished quite a lot. I appreciate that. I don't know, man. I hope to one day feel fulfilled in it. I hope to one day feel a sense. I feel a sense of pride. That's not right to say, but I hope to one day sit there and be like, yeah. My biggest thing is just on my deathbed. I want to say, like, I got no regrets. Like, I really tried. Whether I get to where I need to get to or not, I just want to say, yo, you know what? And I want people to, not that I'm going to be here to know, but I want people to say, you know what? That fucking Deluded Gooner guy, fucking tried, didn't he? And someone asked, how do I feel about K Coat dissing me? You're running the same bants my friends are, man. Big up for West Ham striker Mick Antonio. He's been in a road traffic accident. Thought so with him, man. I hope he's good, man. Flipping out. No, I just see that. Always enjoy the odd AFTV appearance. That's for another day. That's for another day. Big up them, though. That's for another day, man. That's for another day, man. And like, what I would say in relation to AFTV, you see the comments on any video I do. Robbie knows how good I am. If they want to demand them there, demand them will be there. So you know, big them up. Like, it'd be nice because probably the most, fuck it, I'm the most versatile YouTube Arsenal creator there is, man. We can do banter. We can look at the game from an analytical point of view. Of course, I get them up. Nah, safe, man. I'll build my own table. But yeah, appreciate that. When will I next go? It depends, really. It depends. When I'm next at the Emirates, why not? Big up Robbie. And everyone else connected, man. Still love Eddie, big him up. Would you take Mbappe next year if he was to leave? Who wouldn't? Like, Arsenal, we are not in a position to say no to Kylian and Bracey, you know. That left-hand side, boy, how did you come up with Deluded Gooner? I'd love to say there was some crazy name and whatever. Like, I just remember playing Xbox 360 one day, and like we were playing pro clubs, and I can't remember how it works, but was in a chat with a lot of other people in it, like whatever that chat thing is, and someone just said Deluded Gooner, and I just ran with that. Like when I made a YouTube account, honestly, there weren't too much thought behind it, but we're too far to go back now, aren't we? Can defo do it. Appreciate you. Got to jump. It's been a great stream. It's always great to be with you lot. You can't listen to the media saying it's over time after Christmas, everything changes. Liverpool defo drop points. Liverpool drop points, but Arsenal need to make sure they don't. Yeah, I am. I don't really rate the Lewis kid. I think if he moved to another club lower down, he'd be an average player. Many average players have had great careers at Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, City, and so on and so forth. Respectfully, I disagree, man. I think Lewis, I'm not here to gas him. I think he's cold. Like, I think he's such a player. I'd love him at Arsenal, man. Can play as a fullback, can play in midfield, still young as well. Pardon me. Wait, hang on about. Rico Lewis has gone from 0 to hero and he's shown his age there. He's been given a second yellow. What happened here? What happened here? All right, Palace, come on, man. Palace, I know you've got good players, but it's Brexit time now. Long balls forward now. Just balls into the box. Put it in a mixer. Hey, you see life? You see life. When things are going great, they keep going great. And obviously, Pep Guardiola, someone's always got it better. Someone's always got it worse. All the things that City are probably moaning about, like, the City in it. But you see how life kicks you when you're down? Like, things just go from bad to worse. Wait, hang on. But I'm not going to lie. Is that a second? Let me see that again. I think it is a yellow card, man. You could say it's harsh, but it still is. I do think the ref, could, maybe could allow it. But as a selfish Arsenal fan, boy, there was no allowing it for the rightly or wrongly for Declan Rice, for Trossard, for so on and so forth. You're going to have to eat that one. You're going to have to hold that one. Damn. Maybe you could argue, it's them games there for a young man. You have to learn, silly. I think it's a harsh yellow card. I definitely feel watching it again, it looked a lot better than I thought it was, but you've given the ref a decision. It is a yellow card. I can't lie to you. Pep's still going for it. Doku and Grealish. And then said deserves a red for that trim. Allow him, man. He's gone. Went from FPL hero to 0. But anyone that got Rico Lewis in the FPL, you're trying to do too much, man. Oh, but watching it from that angle, yeah, it's definitely a yellow card, man. You got to be sensible there. It's a tactical foul. You know what you did. Boy, and who is City playing next? Please be a tough game. Please be a tough game. Why do I think next week City have a tough game? Or a big game kind of thing? Well, it depends where you look at it, But to be fair, man, they got some... Do you know what? City got some nasty fixtures the next couple games. Obviously, Palace is difficult in itself. They got Juventus away midweek. Kevin De Bruyne is coming off. Let me talk. Anyways, Juventus. They got Juventus on Wednesday. They've got the Manchester derby next Sunday at 4:30. I reckon they beat Aston Villa. Emre's form's hardly been anything to scream and shout about, and they needed to win today. Last time I checked, they were beating Southampton. And then, Everton at home on Boxing Day is a hype. But yeah, next couple games kind of decent. I joined the stream and City get a red. Must watch DG often. Hey, come on, man. Isn't it the Manchester derby? It is. I really hope when I click on your stream, you've got thousands watching. I don't know why, man. I usually don't care about creators, but you seem hella genuine. Don't try and make me cry. Stop, man. Come on, man. Appreciate that. Stop that, man. You're going to make me tear up. DG, what's your thoughts on Clive Palmer? Good. Big him up, man. I like the way he talks about football. Again, pause times a million on what I'm about to say. But he's got a nice voice. Like, he's got... I don't know. Obviously, he's not David Attenborough, but he's got one of the... I don't know how to describe. He's got one of them voices, like David Attenborough kind of voices. Like, yeah. DG, this needs to be our system. City are not going to get a constant run. We need to capitalize. We just need to win our games, man. Come on, Palace, man. It's a yellow full stop. Worried about Smith Rowe tomorrow. Definitely going to want to prove something. It's written in the script for Smith Rowe. But I must admit, in the last couple of days, I'm thinking it Wolby's the ex-Arsenal man, the ex-Haylender that is the one that's going to annoy stuff. He's in devilish form. I'd say for the neutrals, Fulham are probably one of the better teams consistently in the Premier League. Obviously, they got Harry Wilson, they got Robertson, Smith Rowe, Iwobi. I know Pereira's kind of been in and out of their team, but he's got a good technical level. We all remember what happened last year. And with the greatest of disrespect, but respect to Man United, I think when we went into this week, you want to win every game. But once you look past the fact that it's Arsenal, Man United, realistically, I think many Arsenal fans were a bit easy about us playing United and a lot more kind of cautious or worried or quote unquote nervous in relation to Fulham away. I knew brother was getting a red. It's a red, it's a yellow, full stop. Not harsh in my opinion, it's a yellow. Fair enough. That's a yellow. You lot got no sympathy. He's gone, man. Stop lying, you're the truth, your work rate is unmatched. How many of us have an audience? What's your next venture? I just want to get to 70k, man. Like, it's all I think about every day. 70k subs, 70k. That's all I think about. That's all I think about. And then once you get to 70, it's like, right, you know what? You just, once you get to 30, once you just got to get 30 more, and then you get that plaque. Not that the plaque means anything. Oh, yeah, big up Adrian Clark, man. Big up Adrian Clark. Very nice guy, man. Another very smart footballing person. TalkSport has a bit of a bad rep, but it's the biggest football radio station. It's massive to appear on it. I mean, everyone connected to TalkSport, you're right. But everyone that I spoke to at TalkSport, very nice, very welcoming. Like, I wouldn't say I was nervous, but when I first went on it, and again, not nerves. I think I'm past this stage of being nervous. I think the last time I can recall being nervous in front of a camera was probably the first time on an AFTV. But naturally, obviously, you've got, you know, the three others. And it's like, I'm not like, you don't know each other, innit? I ain't been there before, but they were very welcoming, man. Like, very nice, very nice. Even like, got nothing but good things to say. Like, and even the people that got F all to do with, well, got things to do with the content, but are not on the camera or anything with that, man. Think back on the path you get where you are and the obstacles you overcame to get where you are. We've come a long way, man. Bro, the pictures of Antonio's car accident look horrible. Apparently, he was airlifted to hospital as well. Flipping hell, man. Thought so with his fan. Bloody hell, man. Bloody hell. Did that happen just now? That doesn't deserve this, man. Boy. Let's see the other Premier League games. Has there been any spanners in the works? Been any other goals? Why is it frozen? Well, I don't know why, but the Premier League website's not showing me. Oh, now we're back. Oh, Brentford have scored a fourth, people. It's Brentford 4, Newcastle 2, Aston Villa. That game's in the 90th minute, much like at the moment, people. And they're still winning the goal to this. Ramsdale there. Hey, Ramsdale's not got the mentality, man. Oh, no, Ramsdale's not even in goal. Oh, yeah, he's injured, isn't it? They've got bare keepers. They've got McCarthy. They've got Joe Lumley. I hate goalies wearing my favorite number 13. I know it's completely off topic. And obviously, they've got Ramsdale. Hopefully. I mean, do we really think Palace is going to do a thing? I'm not sure they've had one since Rodri had his mad moment last season. Brentford R4 goes up. For real, DG YouTubers come saturated with content and they're just annoying. You're the most genuine on here. Also, why is Rants? Big up Rants, man. I've got nothing but respect for Rants. You can disagree with his opinions and everything, but he's one of the realists in this space. I'm confident for tomorrow. I'm confident because the form gives it to me in our last few games, but I am kind of maybe nervous ain't the right word, but there's a bit of butterflies. I don't know why. I don't think it's plain sailing tomorrow. Yeah, true about Clive. Right volume and tempo, and he speaks sense. You don't even want to interrupt. Yeah, he's got that David Attenborough figure about him, man. If I'm honest, come on, Palace, man. Someone just somebody. Just do your thing. Harsh yellow, but not more harsh than Saliba's red. Listen, that's your business, City. You shouldn't have given the ref a decision. Will Hughes, that's a ball. Come on, relax. Mitchell, please. Who the hell is number 55 for Palace? If that's a goal kick, I never want to see you again. Okay, it's a corner. This random youngster, you better put a good ball into that box. We haven't got time for anything. Come on, we need this. There's 2 minutes remaining of the added on 4 people. Come on, set piece FC. Let's go again. Eddie's body language looks so down. Maybe that's just him, really and truly, you know. But maybe that's why. Maybe it's a confidence thing. His head hasn't got anywhere. Grealish about to clear it. That's a baggy touch from Grealish. Eddie and Ketia, what the fuck, man? You're definitely going in the book. Silly foul to make. If you're Grealish, you roll around, act like you've been killed, eat up time. But then again, this doesn't help. As much as I'm focusing on Palace with the fact that they're down to they got another man on the pitch. City have had a red card. Got to remember, this is 2 points dropped for City. You could argue it's a point gain because they came from behind. and it doesn't arrest their rot. I know they beat Nottingham Forest midweek, but it don't really mean much. Hacking players. Let me see these Mikel Antonio. You look, because a lot of you are saying this. Mikel Antonio. Okay, that just says he's had an update. It's fair to say he won't be playing on Monday. Where are you lot seeing this? Because I'm not showing it to me on Google. That's so shit, man. I've met Antonio. He's actually a very cool guy as well. Not that that has any relevance to this, like, but oh shit. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you just gotta count your blessings. You're alive. You know, fuck the car. Oh my. What the hell's happened to the car? Like, looks like the car looks like a scene out of the movies. You gotta praise God, man. You gotta, like, you know what? The main thing is Mikel Antonio still alive, man. Because fucking hell, fucking hell, that is a madness. Another successful hate along. True. Yes. Okay. City didn't lose, but they didn't win. Hopefully we can do our job. Rico Lewis, you're doing fantastic, fella. Doing absolutely fantastic, man. I really hope that car picture is fake with Antonio because it looks scary. Bro, half the car is like, it looks like a movie scene, like from Transformers or something. Like, praise God that the man's alive, man. Because that's the main thing. Like, fuck. Given last season Fulham scare me, they scare me as well. Liverpool game postponed. It is not good for them. We win tomorrow. Suddenly we're 4 points behind them. They do have a game in hand. They'll feel the pressure. You say that, and I don't think you're wrong, but at the end of the day, them Liverpool players have been here before. Everyone's got to play everyone twice and slash, 38 games. Just got to keep it going, really. And obviously for Liverpool, you don't really get to shake the disappointing draw to Newcastle immediately out of their system. I reckon they would have moved to Everton, really. But yeah, man, it is what it is. On that note, though, people, the bad news is that that's the end of this watch along. The good news is that, within 20 minutes, 23 minutes, we're back again. You lot's talking points, questions, differences of opinion, everything. It's always amazing to be here with you lot, man. And big up you lot who have subscribed and hit the like button. Don't forget to join me at 5:20, 10 minutes before kickoff. We'll watch Man United Nottingham Forest, where we hope United lose. But on that note, peace.
There's always just that active red light. Defenders, I think, it's like